Hello, I am Gregory, the Poor Typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live. Today, our writing prompt is, what is it? There it is on the screen. Write about your plans for December. And we already have people waiting in the wings, so let's go ahead and let them in. Yes, plans for December. All right. Hi, Kim, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good, very good. Yeah, hi, Brenda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very good.
Awesome.
And Joe's about to pop in, hopefully.
Yes, I hope.
We hear him.
Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hi. I am not visible. I'm the invisible man today.
Are you sitting there in the dark?
It doesn't seem like it, but it's my normal problems with my connections.
Yeah.
My old cameras that I use that are outdated.
Yeah. And yet somehow you make them.
I know. There we are.
There we go.
Hey, Joe. Hi.
Yay,
I missed
Joe.
you. Yay.
This is about the only angle I could find that would give me a view of my typewriter I'm using and me a little bit. And of course, my typewriter is up on a little platform. This is a little thing I did a few years ago. This little wooden platform I actually built for my
Nice.
Facet 1620 about 5 years ago. Because
Nice.
I like the hamster perch position rather than bending your hands like that down low. This is more comfortable for me.
Yes.
Anyways, new typewriter, by the way. Haven't mentioned to anybody really.
Nice. What is it called?
It's an Olympia Splendid33.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And how do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's a British keyboard. It was extremely filthy. And I did a lot of cleaning with it last week. So
Okay.
probably do a video about it this week.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
that series is one of my favorite series of typewriters. So
Yeah, I had an SF a few years ago, and this is very similar to it.
yes.
But this one happens to be a little bit better shape, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that's the red keys, right?
Yeah, kind of brownish red.
Yeah.
Turn on some light here. Let's see. Maybe you can see that better.
There we go.
Yeah. So.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yes, we need a video on that.
Yes, we do. Glare here. Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna jump right in. I do see we have a new face joining us. Amy, how are you?
No.
I'm good. Hi, from Nova Scotia.
Oh, excellent. Welcome. Yeah, so since you're new, do you just want to give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Oh, sure. So I live in a tiny little place called Scotts Bay, Nova Scotia. There's like 200 people who live here full time.
Wow.
It's on the Bay of Fundy. In the summer, we kind of expand because there's a lot of summer people who come, but the rest of us who live year round are hardcore because it gets pretty nasty in the winter. But I'm a writer, and I've always loved typing on manual typewriters, but during the pandemic, I was having some real problems with writer's block. So I started using an old manual typewriter to just sort of like break through that because can't delete. I could throw it in the wood stove, but other than that. So anyway, yeah. And then I also just started collecting at that time and fixing typewriters and teaching myself and really enjoying it. And today I have new to me anyway. It's an Erica Pullman Model 12. Let me turn around so you can see it here. There, you can kind of see. And it's in decent shape. The bell needs to be fixed. It needs a good cleaning. But other than that, everything seems to work. The serial number is a bit of a mystery to me. It's higher than anything I can find on the internet, on the typewriter database or anything else. So not exactly sure of the date, but yeah, it's a really sweet machine and super party, and it's number 11 for me. So
nice.
yeah, I have 11 so far, and yeah, and yeah, that's about it. I spend most of my time writing, walking my dog. I mostly write historical fiction.
Oh, nice.
So that's my jam.
Now,
And
is it sort of regional historical fiction, like to that area, or just in general?
my first novel was based in this area. Actually, it was based on my house.
Oh,
Because
wow.
my house is a couple hundred years old and had once belonged to the community's midwife. So the first novel is about that, set in World War I. But then the rest of the fiction is kind of all over the map. Like I have a Gilded Age New York City novel. A lot of my novels also incorporate like fantastical or folklore elements into history. But it's been really, really fun. I've been really lucky to be published and to have the work translated in different languages, and to be able, until the pandemic, to go on book tours usually every year and stuff like that. So it's been a bit of a shift, I think, for everybody during these times. And that's sort of where the typewriters have come in and sort of saved my brain a bit. And that's been really, really great. I've been lurking, full confession, I've been lurking for the Zoom chats a couple of weeks now. My husband actually like logged into the YouTube chat last week. It was like, so he kind of pushed me into actually doing the Zoom this week.
Oh,
So that's super fun. So I'm a little nervous about meeting everybody that I've already seen all these weeks in a row.
Don't be nervous.
One of us now.
But yeah, no, I really enjoy it, and I really I enjoy what I do, and that's about it. I also write plays and and incidental music for musicals, and I started off as a musicologist, so and then I switched to writing novels.
Yeah.
And what are those instruments hanging on your wall called?
Oh, those are ukuleles. Yeah,
Okay.
that's just sort of a fun kind of
Those
thing.
are cool.
Oh yeah, it's really, they're again, like I picked those up like one summer. I had written a play, and it was having a premiere at an outdoor theater here in Canada, and one of the actors had a ukulele kicking around, and so I mean I've always loved just picking up different instruments. So that was about 5 years ago, and so I started playing ukulele then. But I started playing piano when I was 5, and then played all through university, and also played French horn in the orchestra and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I really like playing ukuleles. I like playing like 20s and 30s kind of crooner type tunes and jazz and
Ooh.
stuff like that. Very
Very
fun.
Amy, are you left-handed?
I am not. No,
Oh,
I'm right-handed.
okay.
Yeah. Why are you?
I am, but
You're southpaw? Yeah.
I played the French horn because I was left-handed.
Oh,
It was
wow.
it was the only instrument that a left-handed person could play decently who
Yeah.
was useless with their right.
That's right. You just shove your right into the bell.
So Amy, I was curious, how has your newfound love of the typewriter, how has that affected your professional writing habits? Do you find yourself doing more like rough draft writing on the manual typewriters?
Yeah, well, I mean, I usually made notes by hand first anyway. I'm also, as a lot of people here, I'm into fountain pens, so I do, do the ink pen paper kind of feel. It's just a different part of the brain that gets exercised than when, you're typing into a laptop. And so, but using the typewriter, I don't know, there was something really nice about having something in print at the end of the day, accumulating, because when I do have self-doubts and trouble having a first draft, even if I've done stuff by hand, then I usually put it into my laptop, right? And so what I was having trouble with, especially during the pandemic, was, well, one, distraction from the internet. And it doesn't matter how, you tell yourself you're going to install this program, it's going to keep you off the internet. It doesn't matter. You will log on. It does not matter. But then the other thing was just that I would judge it right away, and I would just delete it on my laptop. So, and I would also use different kinds of paper, different change my margins and just have fun with the machines and also use different machines. And I might call it method writing, but I'm working on something that's set in World War II. So using a World War II era machine just kind of really kind of helps. I also listen to, I have an app called Radio Garden. So I listen to British Homefront Radio when I'm working on the World War II book.
Oh, wow.
So it just really like helps, you know, immerse you into the world that you're working on, right? Is that, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that's great. It's fantastic.
And
Amy, great to see you.
Hi, William. I got your letter this week. Thank you so much.
Good.
And I hope your wife is doing well in Halifax. She's about an hour and a half from me now.
Yep. She's back home again. She actually came home a week ago, and she even sent you a postcard from Nova Scotia.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to not send you one. That's from Lunenburg, I think. I won't send one from Lunenburg when I get you in the postcard exchange.
Yes. So carry on, please. Carry on.
Amy, I was just going to ask you one more question here, and then we'll take you off the spot.
That's fine.
As far as your books go, do you write under your own name so we can find your books?
Yep.
Excellent. Yep. Perfect. That makes it easy. Because we really try and support the published authors in our group and buy their books and that sort of thing. So.
Oh, that's really lovely. Thank you. That's really nice. Of course.
All right. Well, welcome again, and I'm so glad you could log in with us.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to mute, but I'm here.
Okay. All right, Kimberly, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Good. Very good. Anything new in your world?
No, probably not until after all the Christmas shopping is done.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, it's good to see you here. And Brenda, how are you?
I'm doing good. I have two new things.
Yay.
So we went to the thrift store the other day looking for you know, one of these thingies.
Yeah.
And this is what we found. Okay, so we paid $14 for this this Royal Safari.
Yeah.
$14.
Nice
There's
job.
nothing wrong with it. These are my favorite. I think that's my favorite typewriter. I just love the feel of it. And then this one, I think was $59. It says it's an 88 up here, but it doesn't say secretarial like I've seen on the database. So I don't know if it rubbed off or what. The only thing I see wrong with this is the backspace. I have to do something to the backspace lever because it's hitting something. It's not letting it do its whole thing.
Backspacey thing.
Yeah, that backspacey thing. So, so these are the two new typewriters that I did not need. I wasn't going to buy any more typewriters. So, yeah. My husband, his fault. He told me, I don't know why you're not buying those. It's $14 for the one. I said, I don't know. So I went back and bought them. So yeah.
He's obviously a good supportive guy then. That's nice.
Yes, he does tell me, just buy it. If you want it, just buy it. I said, okay.
Then I don't have to worry about the problem of not owning those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brenda, my theory about the typewriter, the Smith Corona, is it was built for the guy that didn't have a secretary. And he didn't want to be called a secretary. I don't know. That's wrong, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. So.
Excellent. And since you did show your little letter scale again, I'll make myself yes.
Okay, it does say Olin. Now where does it go? Let me put my glasses on so I could see. It says Olin Brass on it. I tried looking up it online for that, and there is an Olin Brass company, but I don't think they make I don't know. I guess you could ask them, if they have.
Oh, yeah, it's so odd. It's like it's a machine. It's a really nice piece.
Olin, that's the same company that makes brass for Winchester for ammunition.
Oh,
that's part of the Winchester ammunition group.
Yes.
There's many connections between firearms and typewriters.
Well, there's tons of relationship, and
not
you know,
typewriter.
brass cartridges are the same as brass cool letter hanger things, I guess.
Yeah, letter hanger thing. Yeah. So, you know, you just do this.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm going to fire off a message now.
But don't bump.
Oh.
Excellent.
Make sure you hit the target.
All right, so I'm gonna make myself big here real quick because it
Found
arrived. I think
something?
I talked about this
Ooh.
last week.
What do you have?
So I had the one that is kind of like a pen, but this
Right.
one is a different one. It comes in a little wallet.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It has the rate card, so I know that this dates around. It says rates effective March 2nd, 1974, and the first class 1 ounce rate was 10 cents. So, and then so basically it has a little ring for you to put your finger through, and then it has the little pendulum. So without a letter on there, the little pendulum points, basically at 0. I do wonder about the accuracy of this, but I think it'd probably be close enough.
Mm-hmm.
You let me let Diane in. Oh. All right, I do have a piece of junk mail here. So, over here.
Okay.
Wait up. Sorry. So it's
That's cool.
just over a quarter of an ounce.
Nice.
Is that actually a USPS device?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see the little
Logo on it.
Postal. Post
Yeah.
US. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
groovy.
That's neat.
I've seen fishing scales in thrift stores built with the same design.
Mhm.
Yes,
And-
exactly.
And years ago, this is a whole other tangent. I'll try not to go down too far on, but I was up in Portland for 9 months for a business trip back in the early 2000s, and I wanted to do something to keep my mind active when I wasn't working, and so I was deciding I was going to build a flying model of a Zeppelin airship. Of course, I would do that, right?
Mhm.
And I needed some way to measure the weight of really super lightweight parts, like thin strips of balsa wood. And I had this kit of little cube weights, each one weighed a gram. And I actually ended up figuring out how to build a scale out of wooden stir sticks from Starbucks because I was too cheap to go to the hobby shop, but you could get free wood from Starbucks. Anyways, so I built a scale that basically worked like that, using a weight and a little scale, and as it tipped over, it had graduations. Anyway, that was pretty obvious, but yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Excellent.
Someday I'll write a blog article about that.
Yeah, you should definitely.
How did
Then
you
I
balance the
did-
weights?
What's that?
Sorry, how did you, measure or do the graduations, Joe?
Oh,
with
yeah. So what I
accuracy?
did was
Sorry.
I had these little gram weights that kind of look like Legos, but they kind of plug together, and each one is a cubic centimeter in volume and each weigh a
Ah.
gram. And I put 2 on one side and 1 on the other, and that would be 1 gram difference. And I would mark the 1 gram line. And then I would put an extra gram on that side and mark the other gram line. It actually got down to where you could extrapolate to a fraction of a gram, maybe a half a gram accuracy.
Neat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll have to show you someday. It's actually out in the garage still. I still have it.
Maybe that's another video.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. We got to keep that content machine going.
I know. I just need more time. I need to quit working, which I plan on doing at the end of
know.
next year, so I can do it more full time.
Yeah. And then I have one more thing I want to show. I don't know that I need to make myself big, but this is a stack of paper. Do you know what it might be for?
Typing on?
What's that?
A stenograph.
Typing on?
Yes, a stenograph.
Oh.
So I finally got the paper for it. So I have no excuse. I have to learn it now.
Oh, so that's folded paper. It's like accordion folded back and forth.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and it came with 3 of these, so I'm set for a while.
Okay. Okay.
So you can do shorthand and court reporting now then, Gregory, is what you're saying.
Have you learned how to do that?
Well, once I learn, yeah.
Yeah.
Once you
Gregory
learn the
is-
language, yes.
I
He's got the
suggest
paper. He
you-
has to learn.
Yeah, I suggest you practice by writing, by taking live minutes of our meeting.
Yeah.
I know, right? As if I don't have
Gregory,
enough to do.
Gregory, can you read that back, please, for the
Yeah.
club?
Yes, just for the court, please.
Yeah.
The one thing that's interesting, and I never really thought about it, but it's on newsprint, which
Mhm.
makes sense because that would be cheap paper. So, but it just never crossed my mind that it would use newsprint paper. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Is it very expensive paper?
Well, this is new old stock.
Okay.
I want to say this ended up being like maybe $5. So it would probably lean towards being expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find them on eBay, but it's not really something you can buy new. They're definitely not making it anymore. You might be able to find. I haven't measured it actually, but I don't know if like the calculator paper would be about this size. Maybe I don't know.
It wouldn't print very well on the thermal though. I wouldn't think.
No.
Because those things are like they've got like an ink ribbon that I don't remember, but I had one a while ago and I saw how it worked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the paper, the paper kind of receipts rather than the thermal. Yeah. But anyway, that's my little show and tell there. All right. And Brenda, everything else is good?
Yes.
Excellent.
I think so.
Excellent.
I think
Okay.
it's all good.
It's all good. No toys to show us this week.
Oh, I was gonna bring up my Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker.
Oh, you'll
I
have to
could go get them maybe,
You,
but
you might as
yeah.
well, Brenda. You know we're gonna.
Should I
wanna
go
see it
get 'em?
there.
It's-
Do you think I
Yeah.
should go get them?
We're here for 3 hours.
Okay, I'll go get them. I'll go get them.
And Sean, you can bring your Darth Vader collection out now.
You
Yeah.
will not be so lucky next time, Van Cleve.
You can. We'll let Starsky and Hutch sit here till I get back.
Excellent.
Brenda's got the record for creepiest bunch of dolls in Typewriter Club.
I know, right? Ones, that's for sure.
That's too funny.
And Joe, how are you doing?
I am doing great, thank you. I haven't been on the last few weeks, been busy doing stuff, but so I was over at my friend Kevin's. He had been out of town for a few weeks, and I was over last week, and I was just commenting, I've been noticing on the Facebook group, people have been talking about what's their favorite ultra portable typewriter, and I was saying, well, they keep saying the Olympia Splendids are pretty good, and I used to have an SF. It had a problem I couldn't fix, but anyways, I was telling Kevin that, I only have 2 ultra portables right now. I have like my the Groma Calibri, and I have the little Royal Mercury. And I was saying, I could probably make do with another typewriter or so. And then he happened to mention, well, I got this old Olympia Splendid 33 that's really super filthy. I haven't done anything with it. So then that evening, he rings the doorbell about 7 p.m. This is last Sunday. He hit it with this typewriter, and he brings it over, and he says he's going to make a Faustian bargain with me with this Splendid 33. And I don't know what the other half of the bargain is, right? Yet. But anyways, so I didn't have anything to do that evening. So I spent until about 1 o'clock in the morning out in the garage working on this, including giving it the rubber ducky treatment and just a lot of little problems, but it works really well. It's a nice little typewriter, right? So, and it is a nice typer. I do like it. And it has probably an 11 character per inch, roughly. It's probably one of those European metric measurements, but it's a nice typeface. And that's the thing about my other 2 ultra portables. They're both pica. And I kind of like a smaller typeface for ultra portables. So anyway, so that, and I'll probably do a video about this week on my channel. And very cool. It's a British keyboard, so it has the pound symbol instead of the $sign. But
and 18 fractions.
Yes, 18 for, hey, we have, well, let's see, we have, if I can do this mathematically, from smallest fraction to largest. 1/4, 1/3, 1/2, 2/3, and 3/4.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
Yeah.
It has the
So-
thirds, not the eighths.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, the thirds are not in units of eighths, that's correct.
Yeah.
So, and I guess those were for the old British currency, I'm assuming, right? Fractions
Yes.
of British pounds?
Not really. No.
No?
You would have written the British currency with a pound sign, then a number, then a slash, then the shillings, then a slash, then the pennies.
Yeah, I've also seen it typed like P for pence and S for shillings, and then the number or something, the way they
Yep.
used to do it also, yeah.
Yep.
So why the greater number of fractions than North American?
All I can think, is I have seen stock and share prices listed as being so many and so many eighths. So if somebody was keeping track of their shares and stocks, they might want to type them out that way.
Yeah, William, I actually had the same thought about commodities and stocks and shares, how they were quoted, but to have them even in a small, portable typewriter and not a business typewriter,
Yeah.
I can't really align
Yeah.
my theory with that. But
And also having 1/3 and 2/3, which isn't fractions of eighths, right? You know.
It's 1/3 and 2/3.
then the other thing I thought was about cooking
Yeah.
recipes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Generally came out after the eighths fraction were deleted from the not deleted, discontinued. That's the word.
Well, it's there's a number of possible theories. I mean, yeah, it is interesting. I like the extra fractions, not that I would use them necessarily. Interestingly, on this typewriter, above the 1/2 key is the percent, which looks like a fraction of 0/0. If you didn't know any better, which is mathematically in division by 0, you're not supposed to do that. But anyways, they put it above a fraction, which makes it kind of interesting looking.
Yes.
So, Joe, you were
Yes.
talking about your homemade scale. I made this years ago.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, out of copper wire sorted together, and
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't exactly know if it weighs or anything correctly, but
I like
it was a
Well, I started out building a balance beam scale out of paper plates and thread and stuff, but this little offset balance thing I built was better for the tiny little balsa parts that I was doing.
yeah. Yes, and then Greg was talking about his stenograph paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
There it is.
Now this is much older stock.
Okay.
It's still in its sleeve. I won't get it out right now, but
So is that paper used, they type widthwise on the long side?
no, it feeds through, and the stenographic language is a language all on its own. You don't type words, you type
Sounds.
vowels, yes.
Phonetic
You
kind of thing.
type the sound, you type syllables, the sound of the syllable.
Mhm.
And quite often, even though the stenographers are taught from a common course, each stenographer will develop his or her own dialect of the language, so to speak.
Yes.
But it's fed narrowly. It's not fed on the width, it's fed on the length.
Yeah.
That is
So
correct. Just
when
like-
they read back, it's a very narrow piece, but it's each line would be
A syllable.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, so
Yeah.
you have to you don't waste paper as much with narrow
Okay,
paper.
so it's fan folded, so the long side or the short side is the fold.
Yes.
Yes.
that is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you could, in theory, like Gregory was saying, you could fold a fan fold pack out of a 2 1/4 inch adding machine paper or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted the genuine article. So
Yeah.
And
You
when
know,
you
I
use
was-
fanfold in that size, it feeds correctly out of the tray in the thing.
yeah, because it actually stores the stack
Mhm.
inside the machine.
Oh.
So
I was going to say, Gregory, just on a tangent, I've seen fan folded thermal paper now on
Oh.
eBay and places like that. So
ooh, you're gonna
Yes.
sit down a rabbit hole.
yes, I know. Another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I have a question for Joe on his Splendid 66.
33.
Oh, 33.
Yeah.
Okay, just half of that.
It's half
Yeah.
of a 66. Actually, the
It's
difference is, I believe, the 66 and the 99 have a bichrome and a touch selector, and the 99 has extra chrome. That's the only difference between it and the 66. But go ahead.
Yeah, basically.
Does it have a card holder? Does it actually have a card holder like a
It ha- it
Perplex or
has-
something?
Yeah, it has a card holder of sorts. There's my microphone. I'll see if I can.
And oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
And does it have any number on the card holder? Well, I'm gonna wait
So-
for him. Does it have any number on the card holder, like
The-
23?
Uh, the card
26.
holder is a metal scale on either side of the print position that has 8 vertical graduations. And then there is a little part that raises up that has a little hole for drawing lines with a pen or pencil.
Okay, so it
But
does
I
not
don't
have a
see-
number.
No, I don't see a number on this card holder. And looking at it, no, I don't.
Because I've noticed that on the Olympias that have like my Olympias, the spacing is actually written on the card holder. So if it's
Oh,
11 characters per inch, it would say 2.3, which is 2.3 millimeters. If it's a pica, but it's not a pica, it's a bit bigger, it would be 2.6 or 2.6.
interesting. Well, if it's written, it's obscured by a little bit of dirt or dust that I haven't cleaned off probably. But the paint it's black painted on the card holder.
Hmm.
So I don't see any other markings. So Hmm. So
I
maybe it's
remember-
a domestic German market, they had that, and maybe the export market they didn't, perhaps.
Well,
I don't
mine
know.
do.
Oh, do you?
Mine
Okay.
do, and they're
Okay.
export.
Okay.
So
I was going to say, since I have the ribbon cover off, I added some felt. I had some of this
Oh, nice.
1/4 inch thick carpet pad, and I used a Scotch makes 3M Scotch makes a double-sided adhesive tape that comes in a regular tape dispenser, and this carpet pad has the rubbery side on one side, and so the rubbery side I just affixed it to the thing with the double-sided tape, and also I did the same thing on the side panels here. A little bit of sound insulation.
Good.
nice.
Not that it helps much, but it's better than nothing. So
Every little bit counts.
yes, and of course we have the lava lamp. That's always important, right? Gotta have the lava lamp going.
Nice.
I turn that thing on in the mornings on my off days, and it actually takes a couple hours before it actually starts really going vigorously. So if I want to make a video, I have to remember to turn the lava lamp on early enough.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my goodness, Brenda, you have Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
there they are.
Yes. Joe, if you want your lava lamp to warm up sooner, take a big thick wool sock and put it over the glass. It warms
That's a
it
good
faster.
idea. That's a great idea. And put it in the microwave. Are you? Is that
No,
what you're saying? No.
do not microwave. It will explode.
I know.
We saw one of those lava lamps at the antique mall, and I think they wanted like 100 or a god awful amount for it. And I thought,
Wow.
that's terrible.
That's awful.
I got this one brand new at a gift shop here in town.
Yeah, they still make them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe there's a way to prove whether a lava lamp is vintage or not. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a serial number or
If
anything.
If it is true vintage, it will say made in Poole, Dorset, England. That's where the original ones were invented and made,
Oh, interesting.
Nice.
as I understand it.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, I saw David Brushfield. Is he the one in Germany?
No.
I don't
No,
think he's
okay.
in Germany. No.
No, not in Germany. Monticello, Indiana,
Ah,
Okay.
the heart of the Midwest.
Close.
okay.
Close.
It'd be fun to
Close.
visit Germany. How about that?
You're close to me.
Where are you from, Brenda?
I'm in High Ridge, Missouri,
Okay.
just out from St. Louis.
Yeah, we always travel through there on our way to usually Kansas City and then up to Missouri Star. My wife's a quilter, so
Oh,
My wife is
Monticello, where Indiana Beach is.
Indiana Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
There's more
I
than
grew
corn
up-
in Indiana.
That's right. Oh, the crow.
I can look out. I'm looking out my window, and no, I can't really see the roller coaster from here, but
Nice.
it's only a few minutes away. Goodness, are you from Chicago?
No, I'm originally, well, I did live in Chicago for several years before I moved to Canada, but I'm originally from Lebanon, Indiana,
Okay,
northwest of Indianapolis. Yeah.
there you go.
And then I lived on the north side of Chicago before I moved to
Well,
Canada.
that's fun. Yeah,
right.
that was
Yeah,
surprising for you to say Indiana Beach. We're actually a resort town, folks. We sit on two man-made lakes, and Indiana Beach is one of the very few family-owned amusement parks in the United States.
Yeah.
Similar to Knott's Berry Farm in Pennsylvania, and so it's kind of a rarity. It's a wonderful little place.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time there when I was a kid. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was. I spent a lot of my youth working there.
Oh,
Put me
nice.
through school. Met my wife there.
Oh, that's really
So
cool.
there you go. Folks,
Have you
I'm going
ever-
to be in. I'm doing holiday decorating. I just told this to Gregory. I don't mean to put my stop video sign up, but I'm doing holiday decorating. So I'm going to be watching you guys on YouTube while decorating for the holiday.
Okay.
I told my wife it's going to be interesting. No holiday music, only typewriter talk.
Right now, my wife is taking part in a play that is supposedly based in Gary, Indiana.
Okay,
Yes, The Music Man.
the music
Oh.
man.
Cool.
She's
Yes.
in a play. She's in the play.
No, she's one of the gossips.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Pick a,
They sound like
pick a
chickens.
little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep.
Talk a lot, pick a little
A
more.
little.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, David, if you have any requests, we're taking requests for Christmas carols. So,
Well, if you guys want to break into one Christmas carol in about 15 minutes for me, that would be nice.
my problem is I like all the sad ones. So,
Oh. Yeah. Well, a couple of things before I go, Joe. I'm looking for a way to retire too. So there's two of us in the room,
there you go.
so we can spend more time doing typewriters.
Yes.
Yeah. And Brenda, I
sir.
was for sure not going to purchase any more typewriters, but ended up in Logansport, Indiana. It's only about 15 minutes from me. Up on Facebook Marketplace a few weeks ago popped up a 39 Underwood leader, very early, in beautiful shape, and an Olympia Studio 44. And both of them were at $50. And I just said, no, I just was holding on for dear life. And I'll be darned if this week the Underwood went down to $20 and the Olympia went down to 30.
Oh my gosh.
So guess what? So you can see what I did on Friday morning.
Yeah, you can't not buy them. You have to
Yeah.
buy them.
All beautiful
Oh.
shape, so I can very much
cool.
relate. I wasn't
Have
supposed
you-
to get any more.
Have you ever been to Cedar Point? Speaking of amusement.
Oh, I used to
parks?
belong to the Roller Coaster Enthusiast Club, which was a nationwide group of roller coaster enthusiasts. So
So have you been there?
know, in the late '70s and in the '80s, I mean, I was to a lot of the openings of those.
So that's known as the Barf Brigade, right?
Yeah. But it was a fun group. It was somewhat similar to typewriter groups. Roller coaster people are you know, they follow them, and they're going to be here at Indiana Beach probably this summer because they're opening up 2 coasters there. So
are the wooden roller coasters considered to be the best to ride?
Well, you know, I mean, I think they have the best bounce by far. They have the best bounce, but you know, your steel coasters they can do. Yeah, steel coasters they can do more too. So you can do more of the turns, and because steel is much, you know, it's more bendable, and so you get that smooth ride that goes to all crazy locations. But yeah, wooden coasters are fun, and the bunny hops are always my favorite. Right at the end where it goes like this. Where your stomach goes up and down and up and down. Those are always my favorite.
Yeah, they have the blue streak at the.
Guys, don't get me
point.
started on roller coasters.
Well, see, I grew up in Toledo. I mean, I'm from
Okay.
Toledo, Ohio. So that's where we always, you know, senior skip day was at the Cedar Point.
Sure.
Nice.
You know, they had the blue streak was a really good
The
one.
blue
and the
streak, I was just
corkscrew.
going to mention that.
The blue
They have
streak
the
is
greatest
awesome.
bunny hops.
Yes. And the was it the corkscrew? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Uh-huh.
And they had the Magnum.
The Magnum Force.
Magnum, that's really good. I love all these roller coasters. But that was fun.
But one of these days, you know, when I retire, I'm plotting to have maybe a live like gathering here in Monticello because of the Indiana Beach being there. And it would be fun, you know, it'd be a fun place for everybody to hang out and go to the amusement park for a day. There's lots to do around here. So it's in the thought process, but it's way down the road when Joe and I finally decide to leave our jobs.
Yeah.
Can you type on a roller coaster while it's in motion?
I've never tried that. And my back won't really allow me to do that much anymore. That's the unfortunate part about it. The old back just doesn't really like it after.
It's not good.
day
Not
of
good
riding.
for spine. No.
Yeah, not good. Okay, guys, I'm going to be decorating. So remember,
Okay.
15 minutes from now, I need a Christmas Carol.
Maybe we'll hear some ukulele. Maybe we get some ukulele
Oh,
going.
yeah.
There you go. By the way, I like your dolls there. Those are very, very nice.
They're not dolls, they're action figures.
Action.
Okay.
I was just going to say that.
There you go. Thank you, Sean.
Hey, no problem.
See you guys.
Thanks, David.
Okay.
All right.
So-
And, go ahead.
Brian, I see
Yes.
you have a console. Is it 231 there?
I don't remember what it is. It's a 231.2.
Okay. Now, do you know how to read the page gauge on the left-hand end of the pattern?
No, I don't.
Me neither.
It's pretty cryptic.
I'd like to learn how to read that. Now, the Smith Corner ones are fairly easy, but the one on the consoles, I don't quite understand how to set them and read them.
It's see, I can show you. Let's see, I'll put it over here.
Yeah.
Just a sec.
I like how consoles have typewriter revision numbers, though, like software.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right here.
I don't know if anyone else knows how to read that scale.
No.
Haven't owned a console. Were they made in the Eastern Bloc?
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
Yes, made by Brushfield Bruno of Prague, Czechoslovakia.
What he said.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
15, 28.
Is that line numbers or?
I bet you it's centimeters.
Idea.
Oh, centimeters. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I mean, they weren't into inches that
What
much.
does it go up? Does it go up to 28? Is that the largest
Yeah.
number?
No, it's the after 28 is 30. 28, 30. And 15, 28, 30.
They're not even consistent numbers.
So 30
No,
centimeters is 300 millimeters, which is about 12 inches. So that might be an, what is an
Okay.
A4 sheet of
A4
paper?
paper,
Yeah.
Oh.
so possibly.
This camera's not very well suited to this. I'll have it. I'm done trying to make that work.
So,
Sure.
We got a decent look at it. So
Yeah.
On the typewriter microscope.
yeah. That's very interesting. So I guess presumably you would realize the page is ending when you see the 28. Is that why 28 and 30 are so close together?
I don't know.
well, if you think about it, on the Smith Coronas, you would set the set to 11, put your piece of paper in, wind it through. Then on the end, as you're typing, it goes 8, 6, 4, 2, and then you're at the end of the paper.
Hmm.
And those are in inches from the bottom.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
So maybe
that
that
works.
the console is just centimeters from the bottom.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe set it to the paper length, put your paper and wind it through, and then when you get to the arrow with the line across it, that's either the bottom margin or the end of the paper.
Huh.
Right.
For a
Gregory,
really
have you
long
ever-
piece of paper, right?
No.
For like a longer piece of form, a form or document form?
Okay.
No, it would
an
be A4.
is about 8 1/4 by 11 1/2, I think.
Yeah. About a half-inch wider, longer than an American letter size,
Yeah.
Yep,
Hmm.
and a tad bit narrower.
and narrower. Yeah.
So that's just my guess. Okay,
Oh, I have a question for Joe, real quick.
carry on.
Yes.
Oh, what is the rubber ducky method?
Oh, that's something that Mei Lin had kind of showed us or pioneered. It's basically taking the ribbon out of your typewriter and taking any panels off that have like felt insulation or
Oh,
whatever,
right.
and then sticking it in a tub of hot soapy water,
Ah.
totally submerged, and doing underwater typing, and
Oh,
totally getting all the gunk out just as much as you can,
gotcha.
or maybe 10 minutes or more. And then I dumped out the hot dirty water and then put in hot clean water and did the same thing to kind of flush it. And then immediately when you take it out, you immediately want to take it out and blow dry it and use a hot hair dryer on it as
Huh.
quick as you can to prevent rusting, and then immediately hit the critical areas with oil, like the carriage bearings and the spring
Right.
motor. I put oil in the spring motor because a lot of times the metal is very rust prone in there. So yeah, it seems to work really well. I still had to do a lot of spot cleaning on this Splendid 33 afterwards, just to get it cosmetically. The little frame members like underneath the keyboard and on the side of the carriage, just a lot of degreasing and cleaning with Q-tips and stuff.
Okay.
But
You
worked pretty well.
You kind of breezed past that, and I'm like, hey, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just something that Mei Lin had called the rubber ducky treatment. So
And
we,
it stuck.
yes, it stuck.
Yeah.
She actually put rubber duckies in there when she did it. So
That's right.
really-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
do that. I didn't have
Yeah.
any rubber duckies, unfortunately. So
And actually thinking back, she actually did it live on a stream.
she did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was doing mine late at night when the rest of the house was asleep. Actually.
Good to see you, Brian.
I have
Yes,
a
there you
drawer in
go.
my toolbox that says photographic equipment and rubber ducks.
Oh, there we go. I see.
Photographic and rubber
Well,
ducks.
you're all set then.
Yeah.
I have a question for Joe.
Yes.
So when you were talking a couple weeks ago about your dad would watch the races
Oh yeah.
on TV. So do you remember the songs? Like when you hear the songs, does it take you, is there a song that you remember that he was listening to when you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, he would always watch the Indy 500. He wasn't much of a NASCAR guy. It was just a once
But
a
you
year
said
thing.
he turned the music on really
yeah.
loud.
Yeah, he would. He had a combo, one of those console stereos. A big piece of furniture that had a turntable and a tuner built in, and he had some records. Actually, that stereo, we gave it to a friend of mine, and that it's still in town here. If I wanted to go over and visit the stereo, I could. But
But
I
do
think
you
he
ever
had
hear?
yeah, he had some kind of Western music,
Okay,
like
so
the
you would
Sons of
hear
the
that
Pioneers.
song.
Yeah,
Because do you
the
ever
Sons of
hear
the
songs
Pioneers,
and
and Yeah.
and it brings back memories.
Yeah,
Does
it
that
does.
ever happen to anybody?
Oh,
You
yeah.
hear a song or you smell, like you smell a smell, and it's just like we were in a camp, we were camping somewhere down in Missouri somewhere, and we went into this restaurant to have breakfast. Now this is way before all the what's going on now. And we get in there and I smell this smell. I don't know what it was, but it reminded me of the smell of my Busha's house, and I just started crying because it was like it was so weird. And I just wonder if I'm the only one who does that. Where
No,
I
there
just,
are
like,
some smells that you don't really smell very often, and when you do,
Yeah.
it triggers memories. There's memories.
it was, and I
associated
was
with
like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I mean, it was weird, you know.
Oh.
And then I also wanted to tell you, you know, your box camera that you just did, that you painted the inside black.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, did you notice that when there's a one part in the video where you open the door and you can see a skeleton face in the paint looking at you? Could you
Oh,
see that?
wow. I'm gonna have to go check that out.
You're gonna have to. It
Wow.
looked like the guy's doing this. He's
Oh,
like,
really? A
my
skeleton?
yeah, I see a
goodness.
face in
Oh,
the
my
paint.
goodness.
I'm not weird.
Oh, that
Maybe I'm
is
weird, but I see a face in that paint.
Or
I was
maybe
like,
I
John,
painted a skeleton face in there.
maybe you did. I'm like, John, look at this. Do you see this eyes in the face right here? You're gonna have to go look at that.
Oh
This
my
is like
goodness.
this is like backward masking of Led Zeppelin music or something. I'm gonna have to.
I don't know.
Is that-
I saw it.
So, Brenda, you're talking about smells taking you back. When I was a very young lad, probably 4, 5, or 6, my brother and myself wanted a tree house. Dad couldn't build anything worth to save his soul. So he bought an old wooden barrel and put it up in the tree and put a rope ladder up to it. Well, that old wooden barrel always had a certain smell to it. I could never pinpoint it. It just was a smell of a barrel in the tree. Well, a few years ago, I believe it was 2013, I came back from England and was in the Manchester airport, stopping in at the off-duty, or stopping off at the duty-free, and picked myself up a bottle of Lagavulin, Lagavulin single malt Scotch whiskey. Got that home, opened the bottle, poured myself a glass, took a sniff, and took it right back to sitting inside the barrel. So that's what the barrel had, is single malt
That's what I was
whiskey.
gonna wonder. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Weird.
You know what's weird is every time I drink single malt whiskey, it always takes me back. I don't know.
Yeah, related to that, I recently switched soaps. I've been getting these like super high quality, like handmade soaps. And so I tried this new one, and I kid you not, it took me back to, I had to be like maybe 6 or 8, visiting my grandma back in Illinois, and I was taking a bath, and I swear there was that exact same scent. So I'm like, what are the odds of that same scent being like in her soap or whatever she was using?
Right.
Yeah.
So now you're using old lady soap?
Yeah, I guess so. That is
Garden is
funny.
English roses. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That was good, Angela. How are you, by the way, Angela?
I'm doing well.
Excellent.
Finally be able to join again today.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah. Anything new in your world?
It's been busy. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
a lot trying to make some money to pay for those December taxes we have here in Harrisonburg.
Oh, interesting.
Extra money's good.
Too.
Time of year.
Terrible.
The worst time of year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wrote Eric a letter. He might not have gotten it yet, but I was wondering how many of us in this group think about what are we going to do with our typewriters and when we pass away. And I'm thinking, I wonder how many of my type pals would want some of my typewriters, because my family and friends sure don't.
Oh.
Oh.
I mean, my son wants to, and but for the most part, nobody's interested. So.
Yeah.
I wonder what people's plans are for their post-demise typewriter.
Well, if you tell your family members that they're worth a lot of money, maybe they'll sell them, keep them and sell them, just for no other reason than that.
Yeah, well, I'd rather give them to people who want them.
Yeah.
Don't tell them it's worth tons of money because they might murder you for it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Open upon my death.
You could always ask them to bury you with your typewriters.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Need
Get a lot
plenty
of
of
land.
typewriters in the afterlife.
Maybe there's a
so-
business for somebody is, bequeathing typewriters to an organization that can redistribute them or resell them.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
where
see
we
it.
are, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Except we're not all dead
We're an
yet.
organization that redistributes typewriters for people who die and passed on.
Yeah.
So what typewriter would you be buried with if you could only pick one? What would you take with you to the grave?
And beside that,
Probably my
It's
Smith
to be
Corona
so
Sterling.
wasteful.
Yeah, it's
I can't.
Exactly.
a broken one. Yeah.
I'm
We're
just gonna
memory
die rather
keepers.
than-
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm broken. It's broken.
That one you could never quite fix, but you could
Right.
never quite let go of.
Do you want that typewriter haunting you though in your afterlife? The one you could never fix?
Oh, no.
I don't.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, no. But maybe you could fix it in the afterlife. Maybe everything's perfect there.
Then you have
Take your
regrets about
unfinished business
dying.
with you. You definitely want somebody like that. And
I think
every
I would-
night, if you're really quiet, you can hear his screwdriver squeaking in the.
Yeah.
If
Hear
you
little
go out to the
springs.
graveyard on a full moon, you can hear him typing underground.
Oh.
Still trying to fix that typewriter all these years later.
So, Angela, you were asking about what to do with typewriters. This particular one here, if you can see it,
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah.
I bought from the original owner,
Mhm.
and I have a note in the case that if that should something happen to me, this typewriter is to go to the original owner's granddaughter.
Oh, nice.
And so,
You
Yeah.
have the address with it?
have what?
The address so they know where she lives.
All I have is her name at the moment and her parents' address. Sometimes she'll go to university or college or whatever, but who knows how many years that'll be.
Yeah.
All right. And so Brian, you're doing. Oh, I see Koa there.
Yeah, Koa's here.
You and Koa are well.
Koa and I are very well. We did
Excellent.
some Christmas decorating this morning. We got stuff up outside.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, nothing really going on. Nothing typewriter.
Okay. Excellent.
Hanging out with my
Yeah.
ducks. Yeah,
Nice. A little family, actually.
Hold on for a second. Now I've got my ducks in a row. So.
You have your ducks in a row. There we go.
Hey, Koa,
That's good.
come be on Zoom, Koa. Koa, up. Come on. You don't want to.
So he's recovered from his injury.
Oh yes, very much so.
Excellent.
He's decked out for the holidays.
Oh,
Let's get him in clean here.
there we go.
Oh,
Aw.
Good.
I love Koa so much.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. Yeah, nothing big.
Nothing new here, Greg.
What's that?
I said nothing new here. I'm still waiting for my package.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Well,
When
the
were you
original
thinking?
date was supposed to be November 30th, although it did say, yeah, it should be here before that, but I haven't seen it yet. So all I
Okay.
know is it departed Memphis. So maybe it'll be here today. I don't know. It'd be
Live
nice.
unboxing.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't know if I can wait that long.
What is it, Diane?
It's a typewriter.
Of
What?
what kind of type?
Nothing.
It's a typewriter that I sent off to be cleaned and repainted by Megan Sayetta of Unplugged Typewriter.
Nice.
One of your Smith premieres, right?
No,
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't think she would really want to touch one of those.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, this is a Smith Corona.
Oh, that's right.
Silent or Silent Super. I forget which. It's been so long.
That's right.
She's had it for quite a while, but she's gone through a move and a few other things in the meantime. So not that I was not, missing it or anything, but it's like, well, now that it's on its way back, dang it, I want it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Did you get it repainted in the original color, or did you choose something different?
For that one, I chose something different. For the panels that she still has, it's just painted in the original color because it was on my electric, and it was the green one.
Yeah.
And I just wanted it to look nice because seeing the rust coming through where my hand, well, it wasn't seeing the bare metal where my hands were. It's like, seriously. It's like on this other machine, it started out being one of those grayish things, I think it was gray, and it was just, ugh. I've got quite a few of the gray ones that are in better shape than that one was. So I said, let's just do this. Let's make this look nice. And so
Excellent.
So I'm still waiting for it to get here. FedEx has not updated anything in the last couple of days. It's like, seriously?
Well, hopefully it arrives soon.
What?
Hopefully it arrives soon.
Well, I hope it does too.
Yeah. All right. And Sean, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellently excellent. Thank you. I always get better when I'm with all of you folks.
Very good. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got new typewriters coming. It's feast or famine sometimes with typewriters. I'll go for months without anything, thinking, man, I'm sure showing self-control and restraint. I've got it licked now. I've got control of my life. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of typewriters will appear.
As a reward.
Yeah. And then you're like, man, I've been really good the last few months. I'm just going to buy this one, which turns into 5. Yeah, and I'm on that road now, that downward slope into having to go see a psychiatrist or you guys, my support group, and then feeling better about the fact that I totally blew what I had thought I was in control of. So, hey, you know what? We all have our issues. That's what's happening with me.
But, enablers.
Yeah, and we're enablers. Like, I mean, I love the fact that Gregory went so hard into these letter hanger measurement things just based on 4 minutes of Brenda showing that.
I know.
And then he's got like 2 weeks later, and he's got 2 more coming, and he's going to find a different version made in 1889 because he's got to have that. I love it. I think that's great. That makes me feel better about the rubber arm I've got. You know how many typewriters I bought because of all of you guys, like her or Joe. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I see something online that makes me happy just because it means there's someone crazier than I am.
Yeah.
and we heard from Dave before he went off to hang holiday decorations. You can feel better because there are roller coaster nerds. Like, I mean, come on, we thought we were bad.
Yeah.
There's always somebody else.
And speaking of him, by the way, we forgot to do it's past time for the Christmas Carol.
Yeah. What's it done for us? It's okay.
I think my audio is breaking up.
we can sing like robots.
What Christmas carol?
Well, I jokingly offered for us to sing a Christmas carol to David as he was hanging his Christmas decorations, and I guess he took me up on the offer.
No, it goes like this.
You muted, but will you? Ho ho ho.
Yeah.
Bing.
Oh, now she's ringing the bell. But Diane, your audio is off. I don't know why.
Well, it's Zoom.
out.
Oh, does it? Oh, bummer.
Oh, it's because it's cutting out the background noise.
Yeah, if you turn on original sound, we could hear it, but it's okay. You're on a phone, so I think it would be more difficult for you.
No, I'm not on a phone.
Or a tablet.
I'm on my MacBook Air.
Oh, so in the upper
Ooh.
left-hand corner, it says original sound off.
Where?
In the upper left-hand corner. Yeah,
Upper.
you probably have to move your mouse, and the options should appear at the top. No.
I don't know. I have.
Might be different on a Mac than on a PC.
Oh, maybe it's because you're the host, Gregory.
It could be.
I'm not seeing it online either.
Oh.
And I'm on a MacBook Air.
Let's see. Mute. MacBook Air speakers. Same as.
Oh yeah, it is under the little mute menu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you go
touch
to
the
audio-
arrow of the mute,
Yeah.
and then you see a bunch of menus,
Yeah.
like a menu of a bunch of options. Sorry,
Yeah.
and
I don't have phone. I don't have phone audio settings.
We're not even going to remember what we were doing this for in the first place once we
Oh, suppress background noise. Got it. Let's see. Switch me. Enable original sound. Okay. Well, we're trying that.
All right, so it should work now.
Okay.
What were we doing?
I know.
We were making noise, so.
She's gonna do a Christmas song for David.
Under suppressed background noise, it actually says, "Hi, typing, dog barks."
Oh.
Oh, it's
Typewriter
still
bells, typewriter bells, blah, 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 blah.
Still?
Yeah.
Your turn, ding at the end of the line, tabulator.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I actually was not typing. I don't have the platen in. I was just letting it hit the what passes for a vibrator on these.
Oh, okay.
Early vibrators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the type bars hit it, so since the platen's not there, they hit it and it bounces.
All right. Well, we had
David's in the chat, you guys. David's saying, "Good try, Diane," but I expect a song.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, for a decent song, we either need Bill Guthrie or May Travis to play the guitar.
Yeah. I can get my guitar out. I don't know any Christmas songs.
Is
We
it
won't-
weird?
we won't
We
put
can get
Amy
on
the
here and we
spot
can all
with her
talk.
ukuleles.
Don't worry.
We can all get on here and talk and have no problem with it, but as soon as we start talking about singing, I get really shy and I don't want to do that.
I know.
So you guys were talking about John Denver in the last stream, I think,
Oh, yes.
and on the topic of Christmas.
Oh yeah,
Oh, nice.
I have that too, but I couldn't find it on the live stream.
Yeah, this was my mom's copy.
Nice.
This is
Aw.
vinyl.
Awesome.
Very nice.
So are you going to play us something and then maybe that'll satisfy David?
I don't know if it would play through with the background song, and actually I can't do that because then it'll get
Copyright.
Yeah, copyright.
Yeah.
Is he singing all the songs with the Muppets? It's just him
Yeah,
and
so-
the Muppets?
Yeah,
It's
so
not
it's
on
him
every
and the
track, I don't
Muppets.
think.
Wow.
Okay, now everybody's going to have to run out and buy a Muppet Christmas album with John Denver.
Oh man.
You can play it through YouTube if it's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a cat claw in my leg.
Cat attack.
I thought you were singing like the backup
Ow.
for the song.
You can hear me saying "ow," but not trying to play music on my typewriter, for crying out loud.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
With what passes for the best bell on any typewriter I've ever heard. I'm sorry, I love these bells.
Yeah. Joe's back with his coffee. Oh, he doesn't hear us yet. And how are you doing, Eric?
I'm doing well. How's everybody else doing?
Good.
Good.
Now, is that desk new, or we're just seeing it from a different angle, maybe?
You're probably just seeing it from a different angle. I have my one of my cameras plugged into my computer, and I'm using it as a webcam right now.
Okay.
Figured I'd try. It's kind of weird though, because this is where the camera is, but then this is where you guys are. So
That's
try to
Joe's
remember.
setup today. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought I'd try it because I recently got some new cameras for because I photograph weddings, and one of my old cameras kind of stopped working reliably. So I replaced it, and I decided to go mirrorless. And this was one of the things that I learned that I could do with this camera. So I wanted to test it out and just to have the better quality and everything. And but I got a lot of new stuff to show because I haven't been on in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
'cause I've been working, but I have a new typewriter. This is my first Remington. Remington Noiseless Model 7.
Pretty.
It's really quiet. I was really surprised because I mean, I know it's called the Noiseless, but I have a Royal Quiet Deluxe that I don't really think is all that quiet, and I kind of figured it was just a name, more of a marketing thing than anything. But this is actually really quite quiet, and it has a pretty soft platen too, considering how old it is. So I don't know if maybe it had gotten replaced at some point, but I think that probably has something to do with how quiet it is too. And then I also have some more typewriter adjacent things to show. When I was at the antique store where I got that typewriter, I also found some mechanical pencils, which I mean, I'm more of a fountain pen guy, but I guess there's enough sort of overlap that it was kind of interested me.
Ooh, pretty.
Pretty.
So this is a Schaefer Balance. This is a gold-filled wall Eversharp.
Ooh. Oh, I think my mom had one of those.
Really? Cool. And then this is an Arab Blaisdell. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they all have like the really thick leads, and it's probably not going to show up that well, but they have really thick leads, and so you can't find those at Staples, obviously. But there's a place online that I found where you can get lead refills in a bunch of different sizes and hardnesses, and it's called Legendary Lead Company, and I think it's just run by one guy out in Ohio, but I was able to get lead refills for all of those so I can use them.
Nice.
And then I also got some new fountain pens. So I can't remember if I already showed this one, but this is a Pelican 400 NN from the 1950s.
Wow.
And then I got another Pelican. This is an M400 from the 90s.
Wow.
And this one I got the other day at the antique store that I got the typewriter and the pencils at. And this is a Uniflow, which I couldn't find too much information about it, but I think it's from the 1940s. And I was really surprised because I got it home, and normally in the store, if I'm buying a vintage fountain pen, I would check to see what the condition of the lever, the pressure bar, and the sack are in. Usually the rubber sack is turned to a dried crispy crackly crunch. But I couldn't check because the seller had put a sticker over it. But when I got it home and I went to clean it out and soak it and everything, I found that the pressure bar and the sack inside are still in good shape. So I cleaned it out, I soaked it. Took a really long time because there was still a little bit of liquid ink in there and a little bit of dried ink in the nib. But after I cleaned it all out, I put some Pelican royal blue in it, and I've been writing with it for about a week, and it's probably one of my favorite pens. and it was only $50. So
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. How do you find a date for a pen?
So I just looked on the barrel of the pen, and it just says Uniflow, Universal Fountain Pen Company. And so I just kind of Googled that and tried to find the pen that looked like the one that I have, and try to find as much information about it as I can. from what I understand, it wasn't a very like top end brand, you know, like Parker or Waterman. It was kind of like a budget pen back in the day, but it writes really great. I mean, I've got pens that are brand new that you know, don't write as smooth as this, and it's just a really nice pen to write with. It's got a semi-flexible nib, so it has some nice expression to the writing. So I really like it, and I have a thing for green pens. So
apparently, yeah.
I was going to say, I really like the color. I like green.
And on those
and then,
pelican pens, I like how the clip is actually the shape of a pelican beak.
Yeah, I like that too. It's and it's actually a really nice clip because the shape of it, it doesn't get caught like in your pocket because it has like that little lip.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then the last thing that I have to show is this thing.
Yay.
Nice.
So this one, it came from Manchester, New Hampshire, which is the city just east of where I live, and that's where I work. But it has this letter, like these letters, and then you just go to whatever letter it is, and then you press the button, and it pops up.
Wow.
And you have a like a contact card, like an address card and everything for that letter. So
Yeah, it's a phone dex.
yeah, it's a Autodex is what it's called.
How many of us had those growing up?
Yep.
I remember finding one of those in, I think it was my grandma's office, and I just thought it was the coolest thing to fiddle with when I was about 5.
They're still cool to fiddle with.
And Eric, I wanted you to see the pictures of my grandparents when they got married, because you had said
Awesome.
something about, since you take pictures of weddings. I don't know if that's showing up really well.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yeah, I think I might have shown it before, but I have a bunch of old family photos that I digitized for my parents, for both my grandmother's side and my dad's side, and so there's a lot of wedding photos in there. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
Brenda, there's a lot of facial resemblance to your grandmother there. It looks like.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
think so.
I was thinking that too.
Here's some other. I like this one here at the bottom of them.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, that's my bush. That's my busha and my jaja, and my mother in the buggy. And there's my busha again over here.
Yeah.
So she was wonderful.
Nice.
Sir.
Okay, Gregory, if I can interrupt here, I'm going to play some Christmas music. So I actually was looking for a cassette tape of Christmas music, and this is just light classical favorites, but it happens to have on the last song of side A is Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, which is kind of Christmassy related, right? So this is the handy cassette player. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the tape out and flip it around to the B side, and we're going to play that song backwards because it'll do that. So here we go.
It's cutting out a lot of the sound.
It's cutting out because of
I was gonna say I'm not hearing
Anyway,
much.
so that's the backwards sound, if you heard it at all. So,
A little bit.
yeah. Anyways.
So, Eric, you were talking about leads of different hardnesses. Still there, Eric?
Yep.
Okay. Reminds me of a little poem that I read many years ago. Said Hamlet to Ophelia, I'll draw a sketch of thee. What kind of pencil shall I use? To be or not to be?
Excellent.
Yes, and Emily, I owe you an apology. I got you mixed up with Sarah Van Allen at the last time we talked. So yes, your letter was decorated with printings from cut cabbage all the way around the outside, which is kind of interesting. And there was a picture of her, of the typewriter on which I believe she typed this letter.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so yes. So I replied to you on my 1936 Imperial Good Companion with the green ink.
Yes, I do have that letter.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
I'll try not to get people mixed up again. I'll try.
That's fine.
Speaking of letters, let me tell you what I did. Diane, I got a letter from you, and then I replied, but I didn't have the address on the letter. So I grabbed what I thought was Diane's envelope, added the last name from the envelope, and sent it off to the wrong person. So I realized it 2 hours after the mailman picked it up. So I contacted the other person, and she put it in a new envelope and sent it on. So whenever I write without a letterhead now, I'm going to make sure I put my address on there because
yes, I always do.
Yeah, it's easy to get mixed up.
Yeah. All right. And Kara, how are you doing?
That's equivalent to taking a sip of something when you ask that, right? I was just getting ready to start a little typing.
I know. It's what I do best.
I'm doing pretty good. Not much to report. I'm just here. I've been writing some notes to some friends on my little Vogue machine here that Peter Stewart found for me on eBay.
Very nice.
Lucky dog. Girl.
I was the only bidder because they didn't know it was Vogue. And the way I've told the story a million times, but the way that Peter messaged me and said there's a Vogue machine, and I said, how do you know? And he said, I can see the imprint on the platen.
Oh.
He said, like anybody could. So I need to know if that Peter that's here with the Oliver picture is Peter Stewart. What Peter is it?
I am not Peter Stewart.
Okay, then I won't
But,
thank you in person again. And this was years ago, so I got.
We do share the same last initial, but it is not Stewart.
Okay.
What's your last name, Peter? Now I'm just curious.
He doesn't say.
I don't like to say that on the stream, but I am on
Oh,
Type
okay.
Pals, so you can probably find me on there.
All right. Hi, Peter. Nice, Oliver.
Thanks.
Anyway, I don't use the Vogue very often because the platen is like marble, and until I get a new one, I don't want to break any of the Vogue slugs, you know. But just for a few short notes, I decided to do it, and I just love this machine so much because it's a 1940 Aristocrat. It's my favorite. It's my favorite style. It's my favorite machine.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of these.
Such a
Similar.
classic look.
I know.
I
I know.
Mine's a quiet
How can you not? How can you not love it? Yeah, I have some kind of
cute.
Don't
They're
ask.
cute.
they're just classy, and they work so well, and they're easy to work on. But yeah, one of these days I'll have to replace the magic platen with the imprint that was apparently visible to Mr. Eagle Eye. But I got it for like $65. I got very nervous about it, and I kept going in and raising my bid. And after like the third time I did that, even though I was the only person bidding, Peter messaged me and he's like, you better be careful. Somebody else is bidding on this. I was like, no, that's all me. He's like, there's like 4 bids. I was like, it's me. It's all I'm bidding against myself. So yes, he's like my angel of typewriters and typewriter paper.
Excellent. Excellent.
And the Stinky typewriter is still out in the garage, but I did finally get the BioClean stuff that's supposed to take care of that last traces of the smell. So maybe next week I will get to show it to you.
Wow.
I'll get to bring it in the house, maybe even type on it.
Yeah.
Without wearing a full hazmat suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's gotten to the point where I can go out and sniff it a little bit and then scurry away, because it's still, but at least I don't have a full-on asthma attack. So I have hope, and I thank all of you for your support and encouragement in that department, because it would be so sad if I had to not have that typewriter. So
Gary,
maybe by next, or maybe I will step away from Typewriter Pals and just take you with me on my headset and go out and do that in the garage today at some point.
There you go.
So, Kerr, you're talking about not typing on your oil because of the rock hard platinum. I was much the same with my Imperial companion. The platinum was rock hard, and I didn't want to type it on it much because I didn't want to risk damaging the slugs. Had the platinum redone by J.J. Short, and it is a different machine.
That's the goal.
Just love it now.
I will follow your lead on that. I know I've had this for a few years now. I really should do that. I have a few. I wanted to do a bulk order, but true confessions, you guys, I've never actually taken a platen out of a typewriter yet. So, and everybody says, oh, it's easy. You just do this and this. And I'm like, I tried that on one machine and the return lever fell out and I haven't been able to put it back together. So
yeah, it really depends more on the machine.
Some machines are definitely easier than others. The Royals are a bit tricky because you have to pull the flattened shaft right out.
Yeah,
the Smith Chronos are just. Go ahead, Peter.
I've had two platens done, and I'm going to have some more done. I've had this one and my Corona number 3 folding typewriter. I've had done, and this one was more complex to take out because I had to take off all of this mechanical bits. But it was actually easier, especially when it came to putting it back together, because on the Corona 3, the shaft that goes all the way through is under weird tension, and so it was constantly binding. I really wound up doing a number on the paint on one end of the carriage by accident while trying to get that thing back in. But
yeah, see, I worry about those things.
Yeah.
And there's Diane going,
as William said, once you get a new platen in it, they type completely differently.
They
Like-
do.
Yeah, the stinky typewriter in the garage has a new platen on it. That's one of the reasons I'm excited to use it.
This does not have a new platen. This is not a new platen, but this is a Smith Premier 10 platen. And it's
Look at that sucker.
It's the most complicated thing I've ever seen to get out. And it actually does have a variable, but my other one, my usable one, does actually have a new platen on it, and it had new feed rollers. It was kind of one of these, okay, let's get it apart and just do it all.
Right.
Here's one for Care, and I don't know if you can see the dimples. You sort of can see them in the light there.
Oh,
And those just go all the way around this platen. It's like
a chicken's been pecking on it, right?
I've seen worse. I have seen worse than this, believe it or not.
This one looked like a corn cob when I got it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about the Olivers is, hold on a second. Here we go.
Wow.
Wow.
They come off so easy.
And
I gotta get it back on.
Back on, right? With everybody watching. Don't mind us.
That wasn't bad.
Wow.
So William, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you tried to, handy as you are, to put a new layer of rubber on a platen after having removed, some of the old rubber from a platen?
No, I wouldn't know what to use.
Well, Tom Chalowski has on Facebook, when I was reading his series on repairs, was showing that he used a lathe to, Peter, if you could mute, because I hear you typing, so that'd be great. Thank you.
Yes.
He did remove with his lathe some of the old rubber, maybe 3/16 on the radius. So actually 3/8 on the diameter. And he found Buna N rubber tubing, which is, he says, the right shore hardness
Somewhere between
to
85 and 90.
so you know better than me. And he found a way to expand the tube for putting it as a sleeve over the existing platen once cut. And I'm not sure if he used any cyanoacrylate, Ca glue or not, but that's what he did. And so I'm looking into the possibilities of doing that for a number of my platens, at least two. I should start with one, of course, but and so I'm looking for information on that.
Having access to a lathe is step number one.
Well, I
do not
have one.
access to a lathe.
Yeah, well, I have one, so that's not the problem.
You're further ahead than me then.
But the also the tubing is it's sold. So some hardware stores or online have that kind of tubing. So I just need to find the right diameter. Of course, I think I assume that JJ Short might not have all the diameters, but they install them. There's two ways for them to do it. But if they're just sleeving it, they would then cut it down to the right diameter after sleeving it. Otherwise, I think their preferred method is to apply the rubber. It's a thin rubber that they apply, and they put many layers, and then they vulcanize it in an oven, and then maybe cut it down also to the right diameter or something like that. So that's what I'm looking into.
Wow.
I'd like to be able to buy just the tubing and be able to sleeve an existing platen after having removed a little bit of the of the old rubber.
In the documentary California Typewriter, I think that the shop owner talks about exactly that. And he may actually talk about the diameter of the tubing and possibly having to heat it up, maybe with a heat gun. I can't remember exactly how he expanded it to get it on. But if you have access to that doc, he only talks about it for about a minute and a half. But it might give you the answer that you're looking for.
Well, Amy, thank you very much for that, because I actually bought the DVD some time ago, which I watched, and I don't remember seeing that. So I will watch it again and look into it. So thank you very much for that. And by the way, expect a postcard from me.
Oh, excellent.
And,
Thanks.
If you are doing the lathing and sleeving, you'd only need to worry about the inside diameter of the tubing, so you could lathe your platen down so it would fit. Then once that's on, then you either lathe or grind the outside to the correct diameter of the original OEM spec.
You're right. And JJ Short would most likely, in their website, they describe that they do grind it down to the right diameter. So they have special special machine tool, which is a grinder to grind cylinders. So a cylindrical grinding machine.
Yeah.
And
basically, it's
how they do it.
a fairly coarse grit grindstone running along on a lathe. Yes. And as far as it goes, JG Short have all the specs for all the typewriters that I know of. Because they have been in the rubber business since the early 70s, if not earlier.
83, I thought. No, maybe I'm wrong about that. But I was wondering also if they would sell just the rubber tubing instead of, like doing the whole service. Why, if I asked them to ship me the tubing, and happily pay for it, would they do that?
Well, they're probably not manufacturing the tubing from scratch. They're probably getting it from an industrial supplier. What you want to do is find what their supplier is.
Right, but you're right. Industrial supplies want to sell me $1,000 worth of things, right? So
try some place like
McMaster
Car, McMaster Car, or
you're right, Joe. But the diameters are a bit of a challenge. McMaster, and I was looking through all of the possibilities there. There's only one maybe that might do. But the size, the size is the issue for the tubing. Now, like I said, there's two ways, right? There's tubing, but JG Short most likely makes new cylinders or platens from many thicknesses of a thin rubber that is then vulcanized. Then by vulcanizing, which is the process they use to make tires, the rubber is fused, and it becomes one solid piece of rubber.
I did at one time see a picture inside the Ames typewriter platen shop, and they literally had shelves and shelves of rubber tubes. So they have the rubber tubes ready, but either cut or strip the old rubber off the platen by cutting or grinding or whatever. And then build up the new rubber on that, or slide the tube on, vulcanize it on, shrink it on, whatever.
And your durometer for measuring shore, is that like a hand tool? Is that an easily portable
I've got
one?
one someplace.
It's a Shore A meter.
Just hang on.
It's like a little dial thing with a point that presses in, and how far it presses in determines the hardness. I wish I knew where it was. I'll go look.
I think William went to get his too.
Yes.
You can buy them on Amazon, the durometers, but make sure you get the one with the right tip. Because my friend Kevin bought one, and it has the right range on the dial, but the tip is a needle point, and that's too sharp for rubber. You need more of a flatter tip.
A blunt or like a rounded?
Something like that, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, folks, but my battery's almost dead, so I'm going to have to head out.
Oh, okay.
I may or may not rejoin later if you guys are still going.
Okay.
So,
well, thank
See
you
you
so
later,
much.
Peter. Take it easy.
Yep. Thank you. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Aye.
So Brian, I see it now. All right, I see. And that's a digital one, actually.
Yeah.
Right. And what brand is it?
I don't know. It's a durometer brand. It doesn't have a brand.
And William, so it's XF.
This is a little Chinese-made one.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept of it is that there's a spring inside there, and you push the button down onto the platen, and the calibrated spring then gives you the hardness. And hang on.
What's the tip like? What's the tip? Is it flat or is it round?
No, it's got a little point on it.
Blunt.
It has a flat spot on it.
Okay, flat spot.
Yes.
The tip size depends on the range of shore hardness that it's designed for.
Absolutely. The Shore A is about a 1/16 diameter tip. The Shore D is a point. The softer one has a wider point, so it takes more pressure to push it in. And from what I understand, the correct way to use a durometer is to actually set it back slightly on the platen, press it, rock it over, read the highest point, then do it in another place.
I see.
Yeah, because to try and hold it perfectly vertical is quite hard. So it's much the same as checking the inside of a cylinder with a telescope and gauge. You find the right point, then bring it over and read the gauge as it comes over.
Yes, I am familiar with that procedure.
Yes.
So thank you. That's very helpful visually to see that.
Now, this one was actually a Christmas present last year. My wife found it on Amazon. Well, I sent her the link to it on Amazon. And when I first got it, I had to take it to pieces and clean all the brass shavings out of the inside of it. It was pretty poorly made Chinese, but it gives me an idea. And when I got a brand new platen back from JJ Short, this one read it at 92, and so I messaged JJ Short, and he said that the ideal hardness should be 88 to 90. I said, well, I'd be more inclined to trust your specs as opposed to a little Chinese diameter.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I know that this is accurate to within a few points. And from what I understand, the way to calibrate this is to put it down on a flat sheet of glass and turn the dial to 100.
Yep.
Then take it off, and that will then give you a fairly good idea as to where you're at.
Yeah, 100 is the same as the flush level of the rest of the end of the tool, besides the tip, and however much it goes down from that is the shore hardness. That's so I have to get the right scale, because things that are designed for much harder materials press down farther. There's less of a change in the amount they dig in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that right, but I found this because it was in the drawer of my toolbox. It says quantitative dimensional data acquisition. Calipers
and rubber duckies.
No, it's in a separate drawer.
Separate
okay.
drawer for rubber duckies.
Keep those rubber duckies.
That's a good one. Separate drawer
What's
for
the shore
rubber ducky.
hardness of your rubber ducky?
Oh yeah,
that's a good question.
Yeah, what is the shore hardness of a rubber ducky?
Pretty soft, I would say.
It might not. Yeah.
Daniel, there's a link in the chat for a document on my Google Drive, which is the 1962 edition of the Herstelling-Dayton document, which has all the proper factory diameters of platens for every typewriter.
Fantastic. I just clicked on it. Said
shore hardness of my rubber duck is about 46.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Brian. My Sunday would not have been complete without knowing that.
I was on the bed wondering. Thanks, Brian. Burning questions answered on.
I can die complete now.
I love this group so much.
And Ted, by the way, thank you for that link. That's great. Welcome back, Ted. I haven't seen you in a while.
You're welcome. Also in California Typewriter, if you watch Ken Alexander putting a platen on a new Royal, or putting new rubber on a Royal platen, he's actually using what looks to me like a radiator hose, and he just soaps up the platen after cutting the rubber off and gets that radiator hose on, and then sands it down with just a drill and a piece of sandpaper. So at least at that point in time, they were recovering platens with just radiator hose.
Which is often the same. They're right, actually rubber, believe it or not. It's actually,
so that's another option. It's been used professionally. So,
wow.
Well, thank you. Amy mentioned California Typewriters, and I did not remember seeing that, but now I said to her, I'll go and watch it after. And thank you for that too, Ted. So if this is skills, I mean, somebody that does it quite often develop the skills for doing it. So they might be better at it than every time I try something new in a repair or a new machine, and it's a first, it takes, 2 or 3 times to get it right. So that's,
Ken
that's
is
normal.
also a member of the Facebook groups. So you might even be able to ask him directly what they were using. So, Ken Alexander.
I'll look it up.
I know he's a member of the maintenance group and the collectors group. So you should be able to
go straight to the source.
Yeah.
And as far as it goes, I had actually talked to Tom Chalowski in Saskatoon over the phone, a year ago or so. He was saying he was thinking about seeing if he could get round to doing platen recovering in-house. Whether he ever did or not, I don't know.
He shows photos of at least trying one on the Facebook group. So you're right. I mean, he might have been experimenting then and trying to see how it works. So
I do not have a Facebook account, and I don't intend to either. I just yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Ted, how are you?
I am fine.
I didn't leave you in the waiting room too long, did I?
No, I had a problem with Zoom actually froze up, and so I had to reboot.
Oh, okay. I was afraid I left you in there for a while. Sorry about that.
No. I started up Zoom and everything on the screen just froze, so I had to power cycle and come back.
Okay. Excellent. I did see you were in the Type and Talk last night. How did that go?
It went well. There was some new people,
yes.
and quite a few people showed up.
Nice.
And about equal representation, boys and girls, and
yeah.
And it was good conversation.
Excellent.
You watched it, right?
I don't watch it. I do like little bits and pieces, but yeah, I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours. But I was, occasionally I would look over at the picture. My wife and I were having date night, and we were watching TV, and I would occasionally look over at the picture, and I saw lots of smiling faces. So I think you guys were having fun.
Yep.
And is there anything new in your world?
Well, I have to replace my water heater.
Oh no.
So there's that.
Yeah. Oh,
a
boy.
couple days worth of cold showers.
Oh boy.
But,
wow.
But that's about it.
Oh,
Everything
okay.
Exciting.
Yeah. You could go back to the old days of boiling the water and throwing it in the tub.
Well, I suppose if I took baths, but
I
don't know.
That's one way to get the water warm anyway.
Well, I'm of good Norse stock, so I can handle the cold.
Okay.
That's what wet wipes. That's what wet wipes are for. Just just don't shower for a couple days. How dirty can you be, really?
Yeah.
All over your body.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
No, I know.
A while ago, my wife and I read through the book, An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth by Colonel Chris Hadfield. He talks about being on the space station for 5 months. You cannot shower or bath, so you have to literally do a wipe down every now and then. And this is
wow.
But it's interesting. It's a very interesting book.
Did you hear on one of those commercial space flights? They had some issue with the toilet. I don't know exactly what it was, but there was a toilet issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was the SpaceX Dragon crew capsule, and they had a leak down in the bottom of the capsule underneath the seats.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So are they wearing diapers?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they did end up doing that.
No,
actually.
thanks. I'm not going up there. Nope.
Oh man.
So easy. You never have to go to the washroom. You can just keep working.
Yeah.
So gross.
Oh my. And Emily, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good.
Emily.
Anything new?
I do have a few new fountain pens that came in the mail, and I'm wondering, I have a few questions. So my first question that I Googled, and then I didn't even read what I found on Google because I'm too lazy and just too busy, is can ink freeze?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If
Depends
it
on the
freezes,
ink.
is it ruined? Like you can't freeze cream cheese. That ruins cream cheese. But like, is ink okay? I guess I should just test it because it was sitting in my mailbox overnight, and it's winter here. We got like 2 inches of snow. So
Generally, the fountain pen shop in our town, town, in the city here. She says she never orders ink in the winter because most of it comes ruined when it's sitting in cold trucks and in transport. So she only orders fountain pen ink or large order in the spring after it's warmed up. And then if you want ink in the winter, you're SOL. And even if you order it, you're running the risk that it's going to sit in your mailbox at -35. So yeah, I've never experienced it personally, but then again, I've never bought ink in the middle of winter, I guess, either. So.
Right. I'm
From
just
what
too impatient. I was like, I need it now.
Yeah, so here's another thing is it reminds me of when you're mixing a film developer from powder, you have to heat it up hotter than what you would use it at in order to get all the chemicals to dissolve. And I wonder if the bottled ink did freeze, and if you were to heat it up slightly above room temperature to get some of the stuff back in solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
would
not
think
frozen now, like it's thawed
Yeah.
now. So
I would think it would be okay. It's evaporation's the bigger worry, right? Or I think the reason why shops don't send it is because the bottles break during shipment. You know what I mean? With the frozen, like the expansion. I think actually for you, I think it should be fine to use.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Usually
Evaporate
the
is reconstituted.
more-
Yeah, you may add
Yeah,
need
usually-
to add water.
Yeah, and then there are also inks that Noodler sells that are part of their Polar series that are supposedly resistant to freezing. So that could be an option, but I think as long as you don't leave it like in the mailbox for like an entire day, it's probably can be fine. But you do run the risk of the ink expanding when it freezes and then breaking the bottle. And then it also depends on the manufacturer because, for example, Noodlers will fill them all the way up to the very brim, and so there's not really a whole lot of space for it to expand. But there are probably other ink manufacturers that don't fill it up as high, and maybe that would be a little bit less prone to breaking. But I don't know. I haven't really experienced any of my ink freezing before.
yeah. Well, I might have like kind of dodged a bullet because I think it's going to be fine, but it made me realize like, oh my gosh, there's so many questions about this whole new hobby that I don't know anything about, and I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm not going to order ink in the winter anymore. I'm going to wait unless I go to the shops and actually buy it like from the shop.
Some shops will actually pour off. They'll open it if you tell them it's okay. They'll if you're doing mail order, they'll open it, pour a little bit off into a plastic vial, and send you both. They'll send you the bottle so that it doesn't expand and break. Wonder Pens in Toronto does that, and then they'll send you also the little plastic bottle. So you're not out any ink, but also you don't run that risk of the bottle breaking in transit in the winter. So you can ask. You can always ask.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I have the same problem with vinyl records in the summer.
Oh, yes. Yeah, especially there.
Mail order stuff, you have to do it in the winter.
Yeah.
If it sits in the package bin for an hour and it's 120 degrees outside, it's all over.
Yeah. What's sadder? What's sadder? Frozen ink that's ruined or a cooked record?
Cooked
record. A cooked record.
I agree with that.
That's funny.
Yeah. My other question is.
I was gonna say because at least if the ink is still frozen and it's still like a solid, maybe you can put it into something in another container and just let it melt. And then still use it. But whereas with a record, you can't really fix it once it's warped.
Yeah.
Also, they'll make more ink, but they're not going to make too many more.
That too.
Certain records.
Exactly.
I have a glue that freezes just in my home, like, when winter hits. If you have a hot cup of water and just sit the bottle in the water, like not boiling, but just warm, and let it sit there for 10 or 20 minutes, it warms it back like it in the frozen state. So that might work.
Yeah.
Solid.
And what was
like it's not hot enough to melt your, plastic or whatever, but it's just warm enough, almost like heating up a baby's bottle a little bit,
Exactly. And what was your second question, Emily?
Yeah, my other question is, okay, so I think I can probably solve this problem by just getting some water resistant ink, but I like to write the addresses in fountain pen, and I just sent one off, and it was kind of rainy, and the mailbox was like a little bit wet, and as I slid the letter in, it kind of got stuck, and I'm fearful that the letter that I just mailed off is not going to be deliverable, because I'm fearful that both like the return address and the sender address, like that they're both ruined because they got wet. So I'm like, has anybody else experienced that, where a letter that they tried to send, like, is the lesson just don't mail things on a rainy day?
There's also something called microglaze that you just brush over, and it protects it. It's like a coating that it won't help it if you're soaking it in a swimming pool, but I mean, for rain and snow, it'll help. It doesn't wash away your addresses.
One of the things that I've done is I've taken like a taper candle with just wax and just kind of like rub that over the address, and that kind of will prevent the water from.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's usually better to just use a water resistant ink like Noodler's Black, or a pigmented ink like Platinum Carbon Black, or something like that. That way you don't have to worry about it getting ruined in the mail.
Yeah, I actually highly recommend checking out the YouTube channel, An Ink Guy. I think every single day he reviews a different ink, and he does it very scientifically. He does like viscosity tests and resistance tests. So, and he, in his writing samples, he'll show an example of if it gets smeared, or, in this case of possibly rain. He'll demonstrate like, is this still going to be legible if it gets smeared? So I highly recommend that channel. Adam is a great guy, and so definitely check out An Ink Guy. It was funny because I won a fountain pen on his channel, and when he sent it, he typed a letter. So he has I think it's a Smith Corona Cougar, and it has all these flaws, but he just accepts the flaws and just goes with it. So so it created this interesting letter, with lines that start higher and kind of dip down.
Part of the art. I love that.
Yeah, I like it. But definitely check out that channel.
And another thought would be to just put a piece of clear packing tape over the address. Once
that's what my folks always used to do.
Yeah, I think I'll do that, where I have some, like, I think they're clear labels that you would usually run them through a printer and it would print on them, but they're clear. So yeah, that would basically be like putting a piece of tape over it.
Just the 2-inch wide clear packing tape. Cut a small strip and put it on, lay it down after you've written the address and the ink is dried.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'll give it a little bit of resistance.
Yeah.
Great.
My first thought was get a rattle can or spray bomb of the clear lacquer and just give it several very light mistings after you've written. But I think that the packing tape would be quicker and easier.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's some ideas for you, Emily.
Thanks.
Yeah. And how is everything else with you?
It's good. We had a nice Thanksgiving, and I made myself a cup of tea to bring up here and drink on the meeting in one of my favorite. Just don't ask me to be your secretary, because I'm not good at that. But I just realized it has a crack in it. Like, there's just a hairline crack all the way down. So I guess this one's, it's a pencil cup now.
There you go.
And of course, I got my John Deere mug. My copy.
Nice. Very good. All right. Let's see here. I haven't mentioned the typing prompt. It is it's hidden under my name there, but Writing about our plans for December. So did anybody do the typing prompt? If not,
I did actually, surprisingly, because I usually don't do the prompts for some reason. But well, so what I did is I just made a list. That's my my plans for December. Number 1, fret about getting cards written and mailed in time. Number 2, not feel guilty about not getting cards done in time. 3, fret about acquiring the right gifts in time. Number 4, not feel guilty about not getting the right gifts in time. Number 5, start making a list of things to do this next year, my last year before I retire. Number 6, think about writing a story for the Cold Hard Type project. Number 7, don't feel guilty about not writing the story for Cold Hard Type. And then number 8, start deciding what my post-work life will be. So that's my list. Anyways.
I sensed a bit of a theme there.
Yes, not worrying. Well, usually I do worry, and then it's like learning how to cope with the fact that I didn't do what I should have done.
Exactly.
By the way, since I'm on, I just wanted to mention briefly, and I put it on my blog this week, but
you lost your audio.
Sorry. If you guys are into YouTube at all and you know about this really famous YouTuber named Casey Neistat, well, he has a brother named Van Neistat. And Van just put a video out this week about his Corona flat top typewriter, which he features at the start of every one of his videos. But he hasn't really talked about it until now. But it's one of his regular creative tools. And he has a great video about how he uses that typewriter as part of the creative process. And, so a few people have posted a link to that video on the Facebook group, and I have it on my blog. So check it out.
Excellent. Yeah. Very good. Anyone else with a typing prompt?
Oh, I have one.
Oh, excellent.
I got 2 because I wasn't happy with the first, but I think I'll read the first because I didn't like the second.
Oh.
Well, so write about your plans for December. I love Christmas, but I don't love it enough to start everything until December 10th. Walking through the neighborhood last night, I realized I do have an unconscious bias. When you see a beautifully decorated home, resplendent in its colors, dripping icicles, lights with inflatable Santas and reindeers, you assume that the people inside are good. Well, that's not always the truth. I'm good, but I don't put up a lot of lights. As for plans, who does that? Christmas isn't about planning or preparing. It's about enjoying holiday relaxation, watching TV, the holiday log, making hot cocoa, and generally complaining about your family. The issue, however, is not about me, but the other occupant of the house, whom I live with, who, unlike me, has to be held back from deploying the decorations like cruise missiles as soon as Halloween is over. We have, however, managed to negotiate a truce on this front, ensuring that they don't start appearing until November 15th. My plans are, as they are every year, to think about going out to shop and to figure out for how long I can hold off before Christmas buying gifts for the family. I have no compunction about the last minute shopping. It's a fine balance between the amount of people versus possible stress incurred. If you're really lucky and balance this right, you can avoid the crowds and shop frantically with the other last minute shoppers like yourself. We wink knowingly to each other when we see each other in the mall. Sure, it's not the best plan, but it is something. My plans may seem chaotic, and they aren't really even plans, but the best plan for December is to avoid plans. They never survive a meeting with Santa anyhow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. And anyone else? No? Okay.
Kara is trying to say something, but I think her audio is a little messed up.
I know what that is.
How about now?
Oh, there we go.
Are you there now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. I was saying I'll work on it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Maybe.
So I actually got to go, guys, but it's good to see
All
you
right.
all.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Good to see you, Eric. I
Eric,
like
but-
your
haircut,
camera.
by the way,
Nice
Eric.
look.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
thanks.
good. Very good.
Eric,
Have a
before
good
you
one.
go,
Oh,
before you
sure.
go, put your website in the chat so people can see your beautiful photography because you really do
Oh.
such lovely work.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
Not
I'll
just
do that.
wedding photography. I mean, it's really quite lovely.
It
So.
really is. Yeah, definitely. Definitely talented. Yeah.
So Sean, about your typing prompt, it reminds me one of the most entertaining things you can do on a Christmas Eve is go to Walmart or someplace like that and look at the last minute shoppers.
Yeah, as far as people watching go, Walmart is always fun anyway, but I'm sure that is probably like the pinnacle of the year, watching all the nutballs run around.
Oh, look at William. William and the wife. Excellent.
Well, I've got something to tell you.
Yeah.
I have this Tandy 102 at my desk here right now, which I think Ted was just showing his Model 100. But I tried hooking this up to my typewriter, to my Olympia Compact Electric 2, which has a parallel printer port on it.
Mhm.
And there's, I was thinking I should be able to print from this machine to that. And it did kind of work, but oddly, the carriage returns don't seem to get sent right. And I don't know if it's a hardware problem with the stuff that I've got, but I can do everything except print carriage returns. I can print line feeds, form feeds.
There is you can send control codes that will send the line feed and carriage return, because it's also a problem with Linux sometimes is it needs to have a carriage return and line feed in order to run a printer like that.
Well, I tried that. The carriage return dumps whatever's in the buffer out, and
Okay.
it prints the line, but it doesn't go to the left margin. It doesn't return. It just feeds.
Okay.
And I tried everything. I feel like I tried everything. I tried for a long time. I actually wrote a program that lets you type in a line of text, hit enter, and it'll print it and go to the next line and start. But I'm counting how many characters you type in, and I'm entering that many backspaces afterwards, and then doing a line feed.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's one way to do it.
Which works. You can type a column of stuff, but it's I can't. Whatever I do, I can't get carriage return to work. So that's frustrating.
Interesting.
You have, the documentation for that stuff, or
I know they probably use the documentation for the Tandy, but there's no documentation on the Nakajima that I'm aware of. Do you know of any technical documentation for the printer interface?
Oh no, for typewriters it's kind of hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
I would check probably my. I have a couple books on the 100 and the 200 that I would look at, and
Yeah, there's
it
really
seems like a
detailed
thing. Yeah, it
information.
seems like a thing that would be like either one brand of typewriter or one brand of printer wants it one way and another brand wants it a different way.
Yeah.
Because I know that was a big problem back in the 80s when we were trying to print stuff that, whether, the line feeds would work or not, or,
Yeah.
and it was always something you had to work around.
It was making me kind of nuts. I mean, because every other thing I tried, every other ASCII in under 127 or whatever, worked great. Even you can send control G or ASCII 7, it'll beep.
Get the bell.
It does everything except carriage return. It's not that useful. So, anyways, that's what I was doing with that. I kind of gave up on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it does kind of work.
Yeah, it's.
I was also
it's a
trying to
lot
print
of
from
fun.
this to my Typestar 7, and that did not work at all. It's like one of them's actually, when I plugged them in together, the Tandy would look like it was charging, or it would look, the low battery light would come on when I did that, and nothing worked. No communication worked. But this plugged into the Olympia works fine except for carriage return.
Did you try the Typestar in serial mode or parallel?
I don't know how to put it in any kind of mode.
Oh, like it
I don't have
does.
any. You don't have a. Does anyone have a Typestar 7 manual? I could really use that.
I'll have to check.
I can't find it online or anywhere. I looked and looked.
Mhm.
Anyways, so with I was at the point where I was going to put on the oscilloscope and start deconstructing the things. I was actually thinking maybe it was one of the parallel lines was broken. One of the signal lines was broken, and it was not entering the 13 correctly.
Mhm.
And I figured out what bit it would be for that to be wrong, and it doesn't make sense. So I did all the binary numbers up to 16, and I saw where the 13 would have a bit different, and it's one of those lines would cause other things to fail that work.
Okay.
So
well, you've gone far beyond where
Yeah.
my knowledge. So
Well, I wanted to complain to someone, and you were the only person I can complain to. So thank
There you go.
I feel vindicated.
I can show you my my fun legs for my.
Oh yeah, they look
Tandy.
pretty cool.
Nice.
I thought those were a stock item, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They're pretty rare now, but
Yeah.
back in the day, you could get them for a couple bucks at
Yep.
Radio Shack, and I stocked up back then, and now I still have five legs left.
Oh wow.
So I lost one somewhere.
Yeah. Do they work on the 102?
Yeah, they work on all of them. They fit that same hole. They all have the same size hole.
Okay.
And
It's the
you know,
feet-
some if you
leg
can
hole.
find a dowel of that size, then
Yeah,
it would
probably.
work too.
But it won't be an official Tandy product.
No,
Definitely not.
I have the official one.
There you go. I do see there's some comments in the chat, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. So we have John Young. Now some of these are probably from some time ago, so I'm not sure what they're referring to. But cliffhanger. What was Joe's Faustian bargain? Oh, okay.
Well, I haven't found out what the bargain is yet. I have to
Yeah.
talk to Kevin, so he's going to probably ask me to do something for him or fix another machine for him, which is fine.
So you accepted a bargain,
Yeah.
not knowing what you were getting into.
Yeah, exactly. That's classical me. Yeah.
Excellent.
Blinded by the allure of a new typewriter.
Yes.
obviously.
Yes. Then we have Spider McGee, look for Made in China. John C. Bojemski, I feel like an interloping eavesdropper to this group. I started in the typosphere because it was in BCE times, before the computer era, but I strayed.
John is a regular commenter to my videos, and he's
Oh, excellent.
he has a great personality, and he leaves a lot of very fun comments. Welcome, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, John. Going one day.
Then Andrew Czar, collection is growing, SL470 and a Coronomatic Super 12. Enjoying the live stream. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for watching. Jay McDermott, sorry I couldn't join you all today. Greetings from snowy Toronto.
Yeah, another Canadian. Right on.
I know, there's so many of you. and yet your country is not that populated.
Is the
I
proper
thought you were
way
going
to
to say
say
not that popular. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh.
Never. Then John C. Bojemski, a Panasonic combo unit, new 88, which combined a digital screen and keyboard with a typewriter style printer. Virtually bulletproof, except for the 3.5-inch floppy drive. That failed, crippled it. But strangely enough, you can still buy the external USB floppy drives. That's pretty bizarre, but let's see. Then he says, years later, my wife was thrilled to find the exact same Panasonic at a church sale. Bought it. We excitedly powered it up, and zoink zoink, same 3.5-inch failed floppy drive. I think I've heard that the one problem with those is the belts go bad.
Yeah, belts go bad in everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tape decks.
In 88, it would have been a 720K drive anyway. So like trying to replace it with a new one probably wouldn't work.
Probably because the head, they can read them, but the heads will be smaller.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to write.
These tiny
But
strips.
But could you cannibalize the belt out of it? You probably
Well,
could, right?
You should be able to get belts other places for those.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Rather than buying a whole drive for it.
Yeah, because if you buy another drive the same age, the belt's probably bad in that one too. They deteriorate over time. They turn into a black tarry mess.
Yeah, that's true.
Could a person use an O-ring from a hardware store or an automotive supply?
Often that works.
Yeah.
It depends on what the pulley looks like. If it's got a square bottom or a V bottom, it's maybe a little funny, but it'll probably work in a pinch.
Yeah. Then he says, thus my return to the trusty analog world of manual typewriters. My trusty 70s Royal and my inherited 60s Olympia are getting reacquainted intimately. Till death do us part. Excellent. And we were talking about, what we would do with our typewriters
after dark.
Yeah. Then Andrew Zara says, get Noodler's Polar Inks subtemps. Yes, I think someone mentioned that. Excellent. Thank you, Andrew. Amy McKay lost her Zoom connection, but really enjoyed being in today's chat. Thanks for the hospitality and cheers. Thank you so much, Amy. It was a pleasure having you. And we hope you join us again. John C. Bujemski, as Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park, oh my God, we're in the hands of engineers. That's kind of how I feel having stumbled into this excellent group chat today. Excellent. Then we have John V, a group question. How many typewriters is your limit? I
No
just
limit.
bought a parts machine, but it ended up working great with cleaning and adjusting.
That's happened so much. You buy parts
You've
machines.
been
and
there,
find out
done
they're-
that, right?
Yeah.
Plus one.
It's the limit of x over 0 as x approaches infinity. That's the limit.
Which has no end, I assume, right, Joe? There's no end to infinity.
That's right.
I think I recently found that my comfortable limit is probably 40. I was just shy of 50, and then I sold those dirt cheap to Bob, and so that put me, I think, at 39. So I think I have room for one typewriter, but I'm always on the outlook.
So is there a redneck equivalent to having cars on blocks in your backyard, like with typewriters? Would it be half broken typewriters sitting around everywhere on the floor? I guess there is, right?
Yeah.
Typewriters on your kitchen counter. Yeah.
There you go.
It's like rebuilding your engine in your kitchen, that kind of a thing.
There you go. Let's see. Then we have Liz G. Howdy, folks. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. Ted, would you happen to have a list of Voss typefaces? Just curious.
Not specifically a factory manual, but I'm pretty sure they bought all of their typefaces from Ransmeyer and Rodrian. And so if you pick up a Raro catalog of the appropriate era, then that would probably be a good list of what they offered.
Ooh, excellent.
Pretty common between all the German manufacturers.
Yeah, they all kind of bought from Ransmeyer and Rodrian.
Okay.
Raro.
That sounds like
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Row, Voss.
Okay, then we have John V. Now it's part of the collection. I'm not sure what he's referring to there, but and then John C. Bujemski. Thank you for the answers to my Panasonic problem on the air. Much appreciated. Great group. Thank you so much. Very good. So we are out of our chat there.
I'm guessing John, we're talking about the parts typewriter he bought, cleaned up, now it uses, works, now it's part of the collection. That's my guess.
Yeah. Okay. I want to check in again to see if anyone has any typing prompts, any questions or comments. I do have some pictures on the website that I want to show, but did anybody
Let's
have any?
see 'em.
All right, let's see them.
Oh, speaking of the website, I added pictures of all my typewriters in an album there. So
Yay.
look at them all.
Excellent. Excellent.
Did you put them on typewriter database?
I was just gonna say,
No.
Kimberly, you shouldn't have said that with Ted here.
In his voice? No, I
No, it's disappointment, depression,
I got
sadness,
oh.
Ted needs the Christmas love. Come on.
crippling loss.
Let's everybody do our collections on the database for Christmas for Ted.
There you go. That'd be an excellent Christmas present.
Okay.
I got a lot of work to do. Oh my
That'll
God.
take forever.
Better than coffee. Yeah. We could just make it, we could make a goal of like 5 by Christmas.
Well, Kimberly did the
One-
work already.
one
She's got
by
all the
Christmas.
pictures taken.
Yep.
One by Christmas.
How about 12? The 12 typewriters of Christmas.
There you go.
Oh.
Ah.
There you go. All right, so let's take a look at these pictures. I had to get it queued up again. I was on the wrong page. So, all right, so we have 9 pictures in here. This one is from Steve Ivan. I did see that, you know, he was on this earlier and he disappeared. But he was in the Type and Talk last night, so I'm glad he was able to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have bandwidth issues, but there's his typewriter. He didn't put a caption, but that's okay. I like the curves on this one.
That's the new model Remington portable.
Ah, okay. It reminds me of those. I am Gregory, the poor typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live.
Uh-oh.
It's
Am
your
I playing
twin
that?
brother.
Or something else?
Evil twin brother.
That's
Okay.
Gregory, the rich typist.
Yeah. Okay, that was bizarre. But anyway, you still see the picture though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, so but I was gonna say it reminds me of those slides that they set up usually at like festivals and stuff, and you sit on a burlap sack or something and go down the slide.
Yes.
Am I'm not the only one that wrote on those.
Love those.
Excellent. All right, then we have another one from Steve Ivan.
The champ.
Underwood Champion. Very good. And it's always fun seeing people's books. I see some Ray Bradbury back there. One of my favorite authors.
Sue Grafton.
Stephen King on writing.
Ah,
There
yes.
you go.
That's a classic. Yeah. Another Steve Ivan.
Facet
1620.
1620.
Oh, okay.
Or faucet, actually.
Faucet.
He calls it Facket.
Oh.
Actually, someone recently said it's pronounced faucet in Sweden or whatever.
In Sweden.
Ah.
We have a Swedish person who's not here right now, but
Yeah.
we could
Dan Linda.
yeah,
Yes,
we
Dan
could
Linder.
ask him
I
at
don't
some
know.
point.
He's Norwegian, right? Wouldn't he be offended by calling him Swedish? Or no, he's
Yes.
Swedish.
No, he's
he is
Swedish.
He is Swedish.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then a Remington Noises 8. Very
I
cool.
always thought those looked like black diamonds, like the way they're cut. And
Yeah, the facets. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're faceted, unlike a facet.
Yeah.
Typewriting jewelry.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
That's very interesting.
I think I saw that one on eBay for sale.
Ah.
Wow, somebody replaced the key tops and everything.
Yeah.
They repainted it, yeah.
Is
And
this the,
Repainted
the
it in
lemon
the
tart?
space bar.
And they
Yeah.
filled in the Smith Corona holes there for the
Mhm.
logo, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a little
Somebody
bit
put a
odd.
bunch of work into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. Oh.
that's
Oh, that's
cool.
interesting.
Wow.
That is a fancy
Yeah.
wood job. Holy man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder what that one sounds like. Is it like knocking on a door?
It sounds pretty wooden.
It's pretty neat.
Wow. Oh, this is one of mine.
A companion, of course. We knew that.
Yes, this
Are
one
you
I
getting-
actually no longer have.
Are you getting old because it's a senior companion?
Oh yeah.
I can already hear the gears turning in Joe's head about that wooden shelled typewriter.
I know.
I was
right?
actually
Service
thinking
dog.
that he's outdone me, but easily, and mine was pretty crude in comparison.
Yes, but you're thinking about it.
Yes, I know.
You're thinking of the possibilities.
Oh yes. I have to buy more woodworking tools now.
Oh, this is my ultrasonic 3, which is one of the older daisy wheels, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And this I actually probably can't see my little pointer there, but
we can see your pointer.
Oh, okay, excellent. That's my doggy in the back there.
So does the ultrasonic typewriter cause the doggy to go crazy with the ultrasonic?
That may explain her behavior, actually.
Dog whistle.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fun machine, though. Oh, and that's my beloved little Royal Companion, the first one in my collection. And there's just something about it I love. This particular specimen works really well. And yeah, so.
The middle-aged man companion.
Yeah.
Little Halberg.
Not yet senior.
Yes, a little Halberg, yeah. And I think, yeah, I think that's it. Kimberly, you said you posted some pictures?
Yep, I added all my machines to an album on your site.
Oh, to a separate album. Okay.
Well, I don't know. It just said like under my profile, add an album. I noticed Eric did.
Yeah, so those will appear on your own profile.
Yeah.
And then under let's see, if you go
members
and then gallery.
Okay.
That's where these let's see. Well, let's just go back.
You should use the typewriter database for that.
Yeah.
I know, huh?
Saying it works a lot better.
So we have these 3 public galleries: typewriters, typing in the wild, and typing prompts. This one is sad and lonely, but but we might as well look at these as well. I don't think. I'm drawing a blank. I don't think Eric will mind. Yeah, so typing on the beach. That seems like a lot of fun. There's some classic
like
typing there.
You got to admire a guy who'll drag a Studio 44 out to the beach.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good shot there. I love that.
Looks like Arches National Park.
It is actually, yeah. You see there on the bottom.
Oh
yeah.
Typing with a Olivetti Ledra 35. Yeah, and let's see, and that one. Yeah. So I really appreciate Eric posting those. It's fun seeing those, and hopefully other people will participate as well. Maybe post your typing prompts in there, that sort of thing. But that's one thing I need to do. But I need to get back to writing the typing prompts. I've been so bad about them. But
I've been worried about posting any of my typewriters on TypePals because I know the first thing I'm going to hear is Ted saying, "Why didn't you post it on the?" But
that'll be
thankfully somebody else already walked into that trap, so now I'm okay.
I know.
You just give Ted a little plug on the confirmation screen when you upload stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for submitting your photographs. By the way, why haven't you put your things on typewriter database?
Do more work.
Every time you post something someplace other than typewriter database, it makes Ted cry.
Yeah. See the tears?
Don't make Ted cry for Christmas.
So Ted, here's an idea for you. A sort of master gallery of all the pictures posted on the typewriter database that is embeddable on typepals.com.
You can already do that.
Really?
Yeah.
One-stop shop for uploads. Everybody wins.
There is a widget that you can access from your member account.
Okay.
It allows you to put your list of typewriters, and I think it actually will feed. No, it actually won't because there's no pagination. So it would actually pull all of them out, which would take forever to load.
Ah, okay.
So,
okay.
It'll pull out your gallery,
Oh.
or you can embed someone else's gallery if you wanted to.
I would have to do that because I only have one typewriter in my gallery.
Mhm. Like if you go to my blog, if you look on the right and scroll down, it'll show you like my typewriters.
Yes.
Has my picture at the top, and
Yes.
then it kind of ranks them in order of age. That's actually just a widget from Typewriter Database.
Oh, okay.
So
Excellent.
if you want to embed your collection, you can put them in Typewriter Database and then just use that widget to display them anywhere you want, really.
I see. Excellent. That's good to know.
Ed, I have a question about that.
Okay.
Because I have a blog and I'm on Blogger, and I think I looked into trying to add that widget of my typewriters that I have on the database.
Blogger hates you.
I know, Blogger, like that's the only thing I don't like about Blogger. And
They won't let
for
you
me-
embed anything.
Okay.
They don't allow iframes. They don't allow like block elements or anything like that. It's all forbidden.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't embed it in the template code?
If you can access the template code, you can try, but
I think you
they'll
can edit
actually
your-
strip that
Okay.
code out of your.
I know you can access your template code because I've
Mhm.
edited mine a little bit. But
Give it a try. I just know that anytime anybody's ever tried to embed the code, it gets stripped.
Hmm.
And there used to be a way to do it, but then they blocked that method.
Sometimes they'll let you edit the source code except for certain things, and they'll strip certain kinds of code out.
Yeah, so they strip out iframes and I forget what it's called. It's a couple other different methods.
well,
that
you
I've
could
tried,
at
but-
least leave a link, an HTML link in your template to your
Mhm.
database.
You sure
album.
can.
Right.
Yeah.
That you can definitely do. They just don't want you embedding stuff because that's a good way to like get someone to download viruses and stuff.
Right. It looks like typewriter database, but it's actually Ed's porn site or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's typewriter porn, but that's beside the point.
Which is
If-
okay.
TPV is typewriter porn view. That's one of the default views for.
No, I'm always going to think that
Yeah.
when I see it.
That's what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually what the
Yeah.
TPV stands for.
Oh, is it
Typewriter
really?
porn view.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, on this channel, we already have people making out with typewriters. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I know.
getting close.
Kerr.
And FFV is full frontal view.
Gee, I guess I just jumped on at the right time.
Yeah.
Proceed.
There, Gregory, I uploaded some pictures for you.
Oh, very good.
Or prawn.
Let's see if I can go back to that.
You could only do 5 at a time, so that's it.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back. Members and gallery. Under typewriters, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh, I see. I
That's
see something I
peas.
like.
Oh yeah. Cameo pink.
Yeah, nice. And the next one I like even more.
Willow green.
Oh,
Ooh, very nice. Oh man. Can I borrow that for like a few months?
Absolutely. I'll get a shipping quote for you.
Okay, yeah, it'll be a lot.
It's a 13-inch carriage, so it's a bit bigger in the box and it weighs.
Oh, okay. The white,
Wow.
yeah. And those things are already beasts.
Shipping
Oh,
back and
so
forth
awesome.
it cost you more than buying one.
I know, right?
Well, pretty much for me to get the colors, I did have to, like, I got the typewriters generally very, very cheap because you just can't get rid of the standards for the most part online very well. But because it was colored, I mean, I was up to Canada with the exchange rate and the shipping through Canada and US Post. Shipping was 2, 3, 4 times the cost of the typewriter.
Oh my goodness.
But
Yeah.
I was willing to ignore that just to have the full collection of colors because that's my problem in life.
Because you're sick.
I'm sick and I gotta have all the colors.
That's
Actually, a
all I
road
was
trip
trying-
driving
Green
to get the
interiors.
typewriter might be cheaper.
I know.
Yeah, 24 hours of driving is probably cheaper than shipping it. Yeah.
And why should typewriters be the only ones that get the fun like road trip, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That thing is gorgeous, though. My goodness.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That was the as came home before I cleaned all the polished all the key tops and
Oh, yeah.
all that.
Birdie.
My oldest typewriter now.
Wow.
Is that a rebuild?
No, it doesn't look, Ted. It doesn't look like anything was ever rebuilt on it. It's
On the label on the side, I'm trying to figure out what it says on the swoop of the R.
oh, standard.
Oh, standard. Okay.
Yeah, Royal
Ah.
Standard down in the loop there.
Ah.
Okay.
And how old is it?
1912.
My.
They only seem to make them for like about a year, first model, and then 1911, and then about 1912, and then it seems to just gone right to the Royal 10 after that.
Yeah.
Mine's a 12 too. We have twins.
Is that twins? Family.
Twins.
Family here.
The year the Titanic sank.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you put it like that, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
The year Arizona became a state.
Probably had too many typewriters on the Titanic. That's why it sank.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, the people are too, but
that's forget about the people.
Not the
Think of the typewriters.
Wonder how many
A
typewriters
moment
went
of
down
silence
with
for
the
the
ship.
lost typewriter.
Wonder how many typewriters went down with the ship. Who knows?
Yeah.
the Marconi operator would have had one for sure in the purser's office. A few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the average person wouldn't have their own typewriter back then, right?
Well, yeah, no, probably not like in the portable sense. Like you see a lot more of those cases for sale now that have Cunard stickers on them, you know, from the 50s when people really started traveling a lot after the war. But yeah, I don't know.
But there could have been journalists on board to, you know, write the report of the maiden voyage and stuff. That's not unlikely.
Well, you know, one of the famous airship travelers was Lady Hay Drummond Hay. She was like a socialite in the 20s, and she traveled. She did the round the world flight on the Graf Zeppelin with a little Corona 3, I think.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh.
And where is that typewriter now?
Do
you have it, Jeff?
I wish I had it.
Yeah. My goodness. Then we have the H3K.
Yeah, I bought that from, you know, it's funny when you look back, I mean, as the years go by and typewriters become more popular, like this was one of my very early typewriters. I think I bought this in 2015. It was still expensive at the time, and I didn't really know much about, you know, you're still learning, you're on the learning curve. But I bought this from an architectural student who had graduated in Calgary here, and they were moving to wherever, and they had this gift when they got accepted to university, and they were like, it's all right. I never use it though. It's sort of stupid, but it was from a friend. So I had to keep it for 4 years. So I bought it off this guy and took it home, and I was like, oh, that's a script typewriter. That's pretty neat. And then sort of just typed a bit and put it away. But boy, what a freaking great typewriter.
Yeah.
Now, does that one have the early style case or the latest style case?
It's got the metal latch over case, so I guess that's the early one, but it's a second series.
Yeah, the early case had the handle in the slope. The latest series had the handle in the front.
I got the handle on the front, so.
Okay, later series.
Yeah.
First generation.
Yeah.
There's the Underwood 315.
Yes, compared to a 22, actually a very good typewriter. Highly enjoyable to type on, even though that space bar is so small.
Yeah.
So small.
RC Allen 600.
Yes, I see the IBM Electric trinket holder.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to put in that paper clips right now.
Looks like a traveler. Which came first?
That's a good question.
Good question. I think this body style, well, at least the chassis and everything's the same as earlier typewriters. I'm not sure about the body. I can't remember the year.
All of Eddie Dora, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a Dora.
It's adorable.
Is adorable.
Oh,
I just think the look of the Traveler is a little more refined.
no.
Traveler in Olympia, though?
Travelers in Olympia,
Yes.
right?
Olympia,
is,
yes.
Elevated.
Doesn't look anything like a Traveler.
Well,
Squarish.
yeah, it has the squarish look. It has the white trim on the colored body. So in my mind, it looks like a Traveler.
But that Underwood is basket shipped. Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
which blows my mind. I mean, like I have very limited understanding of engineering, but when I found out that one was basket shipped, I'm like, where does it go?
It's basically
into the
mechanically a
depths.
letter of 32. So
Yeah.
they're pretty much all Olivetti and Underwood portables after 1964, I think, were pretty much all letter of 32s on the inside, including Studio 45s. They're just a letter of 32 in a bigger case.
Fine. All right, I think we got through those. And let's see here, because we have more people joining us. We have Christopher, but we don't see him. Oh, there he is. How are you, Christopher?
I'm very well. Haven't spoken yet today, apparently, it seems. And for Ted and Brian.
Oh, they're joining the club, huh? And he's got the feet.
Got the feet.
Ah, nice.
Maybe we need a new
new
Three
club.
members. Three members so far.
Subclub.
And I have
This tends to happen with every church. There's splits and schisms.
Yes.
I mean, if you guys could talk about fountain pens, we can talk about our very early retro computers. So
Of course. Yeah. Yep, it's all writing related.
I built my very first computer in 1981. It was a Heathkit H89. And I had email since then and everything. And then I had picked up this Tandy 102, and I have the printer for it and disk drive and no output. Ted, you helped me with that a little bit earlier, but I haven't yet set it up. I'd love to find somebody who wants to sell their plug-in RAM to be able to output and then input, so I could use this machine more.
Oh yeah, the actually a new one has just come out. It's a little cheaper. It's on the, if you follow the Model 100 Facebook group.
It's there on
Yeah,
Club
you'll be able
100.
to find it there.
Thank you. If
They
any
just released a new one, so
that's great. If anybody has any problems with anything, you just contact Right Reverend Monk and everything will be all right.
within a certain subset of topics.
Well, what else is there?
Just typewriters.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And how's everything else with you, Christopher?
It's very well. Had a lovely Thanksgiving with my son, and my other son stopped by, and my two daughters are in Hawaii with their mother. So everybody was having a good time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
How about you?
Very good. Yes. I had two Thanksgivings, one on Sunday and then one on Thursday.
My daughter and I are having our Thanksgiving after she gets back, so that'll be fun. One year we went to a nice hotel for Thanksgiving, she and I. We were eating and wrinkling our noses and saying, you know, we need to have our own because nothing tastes quite right if it's somebody else's cooking. So that next Sunday we got together, the two of us, and in 3 hours we made a Thanksgiving dinner with turkey, pies, stuffing, Jello salad, yams, all the stuff you usually have in 3 hours. So I think that goes, we get some kind of award, like
you do
eating too much on Thanksgiving award.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's good to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. I've been watching since the very beginning, but don't usually have much to contribute. So I just sort of enjoy you. So there you go. And hi to Emily.
Hi. I got your postcard. I showed it a minute ago.
Oh yeah, there we are.
Mm-hmm.
Arches National Park, as you say.
Yeah, I have a reply letter for you. I got it out a little bit later than I wanted to. And I told the story earlier, the rainy day letter. So
that's
I'm really
mine.
hoping, Yeah, that's yours.
I was worried. I was been having a little heartburn since you mentioned that to see if that was my letter or not.
Well, I did scan it, so at least I can either retype the whole thing or I can print it out and then rewrite like another letter to you and send both of those in a properly formatted envelope.
I'll take all those. I appreciate your scanning it in. I try to make people do that, and if they won't, I'll send them copies of their letters back. But there you go.
Hey, Greg.
Yes, yes. You have some type from your Smith.
I do. It lives.
Wow.
Holy Batman.
Wow.
How old is
New
that
Smith
machine, Diane?
Premier. 1902 Smith Premier 5, serial number
Wow.
2240.
So it is a genuine antique.
Wow.
I've never
Awesome.
seen a Smith actually type. Thanks, Diane.
No problem.
So do you use one hand on the upper row and the other on the upper case and the other hand on the lower like an organist does when you're typing?
No, I look at the keyboard a lot more than I do with with a regular keyboard. No, I just move both hands.
Point of order, you never see a Smith type because they're blind writers.
Point.
Yes, yes.
Oh, did I miss a joke there? I'm sorry.
Oh, he said he didn't see it type, but he's never seen it type.
You know, if I had a smaller boroscope, I could get it underneath there, but so far I've only been able to pull that trick off with the Remington 6 because there's enough of a gap that I can actually get it in there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was actually a cool experiment I did with that. It's like, yeah, let's make a blind typewriter see. And it's one of the few video clips that I have, but I haven't done anything with it yet. It's just kind of there, and you can literally watch me type on that machine with it.
So Dan, I like the phrase "the blind writer lives," and I think that would be a great name for a blog. You should start a blog where you typecast with that machine.
Oh yeah, I should.
That's a good idea.
The blind writer sees.
A what?
Blind writer sees.
Oh yeah.
Blind writer sees, yes, yes.
If you put that up on a computer screen, you can actually type on it while watching a computer screen, which is interlinking digital with analog.
Yes.
In a warp.
Yeah,
space.
exactly.
Do what? I'm
You
sorry.
you should get some VR goggles so that you can see what you're typing. Wear some.
That's awesome.
That's a little extreme. I don't think that's necessary.
We're getting a little meta
I
here.
have to upgrade my ancient Galaxy 7 phone here.
Wow, yeah.
VR goggles with a virtual hand that slaps you when you make a typo.
Oh.
Oh man.
But yes, it lives. So that was the whole point of trying to get it going. And I put the ribbon on while I was while I muted myself. I was trying to actually shoot a video of me putting on the ribbon. So go figure.
Excellent, excellent. All right. And Rich, how are you doing?
Oh yeah, I've been busy. Last week I had a gig in the afternoon. I'm 3 hours ahead of you, so I couldn't participate. It went okay. We went to this week. We went to Savannah, Georgia. We took a train up there on Thanksgiving, and one thing I found was this. I don't know how well this comes out on the video.
Oliver.
Oh.
So it's actually it's a book. So it's not about typewriters. It's about this guy was a professor, and he wrote it in '99 when he was 76, and I looked him up. It shows he died in 2003, but it's about him traveling and meeting up with other literary professors and writers of fame. And interesting, I read about it on the way home on the train. But What was really odd was when we were out in Savannah walking the town, we came across, we usually look for antique stores. I came across a place that had about 6 or 7 typewriters in their front window. And one of them wasn't all of it, a Batwing, and Oliver. So what was unique about that one was it was a really wide carriage. And I think that was probably what caused me, I mean, it was kind of expensive. And I think they wanted like $385. But I think the real deal to me was I wouldn't know where to store it. I mean, it would take up too much of a footprint with a wide carriage. So I kind of just said, let's move on. I mean, we went back the next day. I couldn't just say no. But anyway, and in consolation, the bookstore right near it, I found this book, and it's like, I wonder if that's a message or something, or just a consolation prize from the universe saying, here's your Oliver. So, but that was interesting, and it was exciting looking at this other one. It didn't look like the carriage wasn't frozen, but it wasn't. So it was typing. I didn't get to touch it. It was too deep into the window to pull it out, but she was manipulating it backwards, and I could see how it was kind of working. But that's kind of a dilemma, how much work do you want to put into something? And then when you don't really know if you have the ability to fix it or not, and because you don't know exactly what's wrong with it. And even if this thing was perfect, I think that's still kind of a steep price. So, but fortunately, I felt strongly that the footprint was just too wide for me to set it up and display it here. So,
yeah.
Otherwise, that's my adventures.
Okay.
I just got back from the train about an hour before. I guess maybe, about whatever it was, an hour and a half ago.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
My first trip with Amtrak. I've never used Amtrak before.
Oh.
We use the European trains an awful lot. So we're going to we tried out Amtrak for the weekend to see if it'd be worth using here in the country. It's okay. It's good. I liked it.
Very good.
Yeah. Getting a typewriter home when you're traveling is another challenge.
Yes.
And I was thinking about that with this Oliver. They had a couple others that were tempting, but I didn't get them. I think once I went to Brussels and I found in a flea market Hermes baby, which was cool. But we had to take the train back, so that wasn't as bad as a plane going through an airport. But what really irked me was when we went to the flea market. I think I paid 17 euros for that one, and it was unfortunately a Zerti. It was, I think, a French, and it just sounds like a little bit too far for me to stretch my brain to try to type, even though I have all the keywords. So I still have it. I went back the next day, and he wasn't going to take it back, but. So I'm kind of stuck with it. Anybody want one? a French keyboard?
Yes, sir.
Oui,
monsieur.
I'm sorry?
It's Daniel. French is my first language.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I have not opened it to know, exactly how well of a typer it is. I saw the keyboard and I kind of played with it a little bit. It looked a little funky, like maybe there was some rust on it or something. But after my disappointment of the keyboard, I kind of just stuck it in the back and said, well, I should pay attention next time. So it's in a box, in its case. I haven't used it.
But frankly, there's might be also others in the US that might be looking for Azerty typewriters. So immigrants and people that speak French and from West Africa and from France. So but Azerty is also not my keyboard. So that's not what I use. I use QWERTY with French Canadian keys.
Yeah.
So which is just different. So the QWERTY in Canada is better for when we write both English and French. So there's less of a change because all the keys are on the right hand side, whereas Azerty you have to reach to the top row to to use the accents. It's a little bit, well, it's quite different.
Yeah, so that's why it sits in its case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, there's probably a market here somewhere, and I would suggest for the Q Wirtzes as well, there's probably some section of a market that wants those. Someday I'm going to start purging these things, so I have to figure out exactly, where I can launch them towards. And, cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
I think I have a Polish typewriter, and it's one of my older ones, early 1900s, and I got it from a flea market in, I guess it's in Germany, in Hamburg, for about 25 euros. So he wanted 25. I talked him down to 20. It's about 25 euros, about 30 bucks, and I talked him down to 20 euros because it was the end of the day. But it was really crappy looking, and I cleaned it up. It's still kind of crappy looking, but I cleaned it up so it looks much better. I fixed the glass that had come apart on there, and some other things. But it was made in a firearms or weapons or a rifle machine shop. That's where they made it in Poland during, I guess, before the war. So it's an interesting thing, and it's kind of hard to find that stuff here in the U.S. So had an opportunity to find some interesting things.
Yeah, very cool. And Mike in Suquamish, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Were you able to go running this morning?
Well, actually, I didn't because we're having some squalls. So the rain's falling horizontally here.
Wow.
I did go out and hike some trails though, and that felt good. So got outside, and no creatures, no one's trying to eat me, and I'm always happy about that. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, yeah. So it's quiet. It's nice. It's just raining like crazy and windy, and taking me back to my Navy days when we'd stand out on the fantail and get our face covered with water and go running back in. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. And no new typewriters or anything?
No, I put my Quiet Deluxe back on the desk. It's one of my favorites. It has its issues, but it's the first typewriter I ever got from somebody. It didn't go mail order or anything. It was a back of the truck kind of purchase from a guy. And it's almost perfect. I mean, it's got the usual hard platinum, and the ribbon vibrator sticks. And there's some problems with the ribbon advance and return. But other than that, this thing types like a jet. I mean, did you touch the key? There's 3 sentences ahead of you. You think about it, put your fingers on the keyboard, and there's a paragraph later on the paper. It's that fast.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So I like it. So it's back up. It's one of my staples. So
yeah, excellent. It's good to have at least one of those in your collection,
yeah, I mean, if it ever came down to, oh my goodness, the world is splitting in half and the zombies are out and I must leave now, this is probably the one I'll grab.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. With an ample supply of paper.
Yeah.
In Type and Talk last night, we were talking about our favorite typewriters, and we all agree that we all have what we call our core group.
Yes.
Is that there's a group of 4 or 6 typewriters that we like better than the rest.
Yeah.
And so
they say you can't have a favorite kid, but with typewriters, it's not necessarily so.
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
Excellent. And Mike Derling, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, thanks. Nothing new to report in terms of typewriters or anything like that. I did have, I want to thank, I don't hope she's still in here, but I did got my postcard from Liz, and so
nice.
Thank her for that. And I'll send a reply at some point. I'm kind of behind on correspondence and haven't even typed this week, so but I will get my replies out soon, I hope.
Excellent.
But nothing new going on. I haven't even moved my typewriters around, although I did buy some I decided with my shelf I had to have some covers, but some clear covers. So I bought some vinyl, and I'm going to try to put together some covers for those. So we'll see how that works out. But I've got
Excellent. Yeah, you'll have to let us know.
Copy from, so
Yeah.
I
Are
can't
you
be-
going to sell them?
Yeah, I'm going to sell them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've just got to the point where have more typewriters than sewing machines. So, that was another collection from years ago.
Nice.
I've got many other collections too. So,
Yeah.
on their space.
Welcome to the club.
Yep.
And I like those Tandy 102s. I have one of those too, which I had to put down in the garage because I needed space for more typewriters. So
Oh.
I'll get that out along with the other computers that are down there, and, all Macs and Apples and stuff. So
It would be interesting to make a list of all the different collections that are in this group.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
I've got
Definitely.
sewing machines as well.
Yes.
A yarn collection.
Excellent.
Other crafting supplies.
Yeah. And Liz G, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. That's good to hear, and it's good to see you again.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anything new?
Yes, I have 3 new typewriters.
Ooh.
They're all Torpedo 18Bs.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I think the last time I was on here, I mentioned the script one that was on Stop Goodwill.
Yes.
I finally got that back now.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you. How can I do this?
3 torpedoes, Liz. Was that intentional or lucky?
It's very lucky.
Okay.
Yes. I hope it's coming across clearly.
A wide carriage torpedo.
Yeah, that's the script one. It has a brand new planted roller in it. And this one right here, the other one on the side, I got that one from Hot Rod Typewriter Company up in Spokane. So I got lucky on that one too. So I think torpedoes and Olympias are my favorite ones.
Nice.
I'll show you the other one once I get it.
Oh.
Here.
Gray and cream.
Pretty.
Or is it blue and cream?
Oh, that is so pretty.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wow.
So those came in, I think either last week or something like that. I have trouble keeping track of what's coming in, what's going out. Yeah.
So Liz, your new name is Torpedo Liz.
Yeah, there you go.
Refer to you.
That has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, just do it on Zoom. Torpedo Liz. Yeah.
We're starting that now.
Yeah. I know I mentioned this in the comments though, but all my feed are from, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. It is Septimus Clark on Facebook. My very first torpedo was featured in Dwayne Jensen's video.
Ah, it's a movie star.
Yeah, but it's been a typewriter though. So
excellent.
I'm hoping I'm set, but knowing how things go, I'll probably add another machine. So.
Yeah. I really enjoy the look of those torpedoes, and I just wish they weren't so pricey. I think a lot of people have kind of latched onto those as one of the typewriters to get, and so I noticed the prices have gone up considerably. So
yes,
yeah,
they're up there with Hermes 3000s.
Yeah. Which
I've never tried, but I've heard great things about, except for their margin ribbon thing. So.
Oh, I love that.
Me
It's
too. I
fun.
like Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Of course, it's a lot like Magic Margins on the Royals. So
Yeah.
yeah, fun with buttons and switches. Yeah. Excellent. Well, congratulations on getting those. That's awesome.
Thank you. And actually, I have one more, at least one more coming in, and that's the
Okay.
Ross ST24. So I'm curious about the typeface though. I'm thinking of standard elite, but it's like elite in European terms. So because the type's 11.
Yeah, 11
characters per
CPI,
inch.
yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah. I think that's like a happy medium, between
Yeah.
Pica and Elite. So yeah.
So
Very cool.
and is Ted still here?
Yes, he is.
All right. I will be adding those machines to the typewriter database. So.
Yay! I'm happy again.
How common are torpedoes in the database, Ted?
Well, let's find out. Torpedo.
It just seems like they're so highly sought after. So it seems like there wouldn't be as many, maybe, or I don't know.
There's quite a lot actually.
Yeah.
But my problem is distinguishing. Like, is there something like a real torpedo and then a later torpedo that's made by somebody else? Is that correct?
Remington
Remington.
took over the tool works, the factory, and started making Remingtons on the torpedo pattern. So you can find Remingtons that are actually torpedoes inside.
Oh, okay.
And that plant would have been in Germany?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Remington senior writers just look like it's basically a torpedo.
Mhm.
You can just tell because the body's all the same. It just says senior writer on the top, but it's a Remington, and that's around the time that body style when they were living together in whatever you call that, marriage or.
You'll also find bluebirds are also torpedoes.
Right.
I love
They're
those.
branded for the English market, I think.
Because the English were tired of the damn German torpedoes after World War II.
Damn the torpedoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have a bluebird sitting at my cousin's house in England for me to bring back next time I head over there, which who knows when that will be.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's see. How many 18Bs do we have? We have a whole bunch of different models, but there seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 40.
An automated counting system is probably the next step for typewriter database, I think.
About 43 just torpedo 18Bs.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a bunch of different models. So there's
Yeah.
12s, there's 14s, there's 15As, there's 16s, 17s, 17As, 17B, 18, 18S, 18A, 18A Series 2, 18B, 18S, 20, 30, 5, 6, 8, 18, Dynacords, Holidays, that. Oh, because they put model in there.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I'm going to have to go through and organize these a little better because people are putting model in front of the number.
Yeah.
Which separates them into a different category.
Yeah.
So if you see a whole bunch of torpedoes on the front page in the coming hours, that's because I've gone through and edited a bunch.
Yeah.
See what you started, Liz?
Huh?
See what you started?
Yeah, see, you made me do work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe I read on a typewriter blog a while back. I think it's called X Over It.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the person that ran that, but
Nick Belland.
I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was on the search for a Torpedo 18 wide carriage, because I think he mentioned those as 1833s, I think, or 18/33s.
No, I haven't got any of those.
But actually, yeah, if you put Torpedo 18/33 in a Google search, it might come up on X-Orbit blog.
Huh.
Let's do that.
Be like two adverts from 1960s, I think.
Okay.
Does 33 refer to the width of the carriage or the platen?
I believe so. Millimeter or centimeter?
I guess that would be carriage width or platen width in centimeters.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Otherwise, it'd be 3 feet wide.
Yeah. I've heard of like what 2 feet wide maybe, where they have actual supports for the carriage.
33 centimeters is about 13 inches.
That's right. But that I'm on his website, and that platen is not 13 inches wide. Must mean something else.
Huh.
Interesting.
It's even wider than that.
Now, he does talk about a wide carriage, so maybe it's just not showing.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a photo of it. I think he might refer to the advertising.
I think you're right, Dan.
Okay.
All right.
So wide carriage it is. So 33 centimeters.
Nice.
Are those hard to find more so than the regular carriage ones?
I would think.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially for a portable.
Yeah.
I mean, Smith Corona has a lot of 12-inch platens on their classic and, like the later ones, like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And the decks, like the standards, a lot of standards have wider carriages and they're beasts. But I think Olympia SM9s also came with a wider carriage.
They did, yes.
Yes, they did.
I've had a couple.
And of course, maybe there's more. Right. So I spoke too fast because he does have a picture of that white carriage, Nick, on his blog. Should I share it? Should I share it?
Yeah, go for it.
I believe my SM9 has a 34 centimeter carriage of platen on it.
Oh.
So
there we go. Now you should be seeing it. That's his blog, and I'll just maybe put it in the middle of the screen, and this is it. If you can see the pointer, and he talks about 33 centimeters.
Okay.
The ideal typewriter for the doctor's consulting room, the tradesman's office, the writer's study. Now he can tackle an even wider range of typing work. The Torpedo 18/33 copes with extra wide forms just as easily as with index cards, large envelopes, and multi-column statistics. Further advantages of the Torpedo 18 include the effort something segment shift. Effort saving. Thank you very much. Effort saving segment shift, the automatic paper injector, the time saving tabulator, and the feather light touch. So it's got an automatic paper injector, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I want an 18B because of the tabulator and also because of that little chrome line. The Bluebirds don't have that chrome.
Yeah.
I want the chrome line and I want a tabulator, so I need the 18B.
So you want that chrome up and down. There's one here.
Yeah.
And there's one at the bottom. Yeah.
Those are always nice touches.
Yeah. The SG1, the Olympia SG1 has a lot of chrome like that. Deluxe, I should say, deluxe version. It's a pretty typewriter. I wouldn't mind having one like that.
Yeah, very
Rapido.
nice.
I missed one in Montreal. There was one, and I was too far from it. It sold fast.
But you can rent that for $5.60 a month.
Rent to own.
Rent to own.
Hey, that'd be great for businesses, wasn't it? Yeah. You start a business and you don't need the cash outlay. You just rent it.
Yeah.
When you're starting your business.
$129.50. That's a lot of money back then, and wherever
It was. Still, $5 a month is a lot of money too, but cheaper.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, I'll stop sharing.
Those are meant to be portable, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They need wider boxes, cases.
Yes. My Y carriage one came in a bigger box than my regular carriage. I'll show you. Just give me a second.
It must be pretty roomy inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably pack a lunch in there when you go to work with it.
Yeah.
So they explain exactly who their clients would be when you want a wider carriage. You know,
Yeah.
like some people, I remember in forums or in Facebook, people always say, "Why would you want like a wider carriage?" And
Yeah.
you go, they talk about office work. Oh, look at that! That's a beautiful.
They do have good cases. Yeah, they have really
This is a regular case, the hard one. They also come in soft ones, which are not in very good shape. The hard ones are the best ones.
Yeah.
I'll show you the wide carriage one now. And here's the wide one.
Oh, yeah.
significant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite
Wow.
heavier.
They look like bowling ball bags.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're cute.
They are cute. I have a
Pretty awesome.
Torpedo 30 and it's got the cutest case of all my machines. So cute.
So
thank you for showing those, Liz.
no biggie.
Yeah. And let's see, May, how are you doing?
Hi, Gregory. Hello.
Hello.
I'm doing great. Nothing new to report since 12 hours ago. Saturday night typewriter class. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I stayed up a little late and then I got up early this morning and then I was tired again and took a nap and missed the first part of Typewriter Club Live, but better late than never.
Exactly.
Good
Yeah.
to see everyone. We've got quite a crowd.
We were
More
talking
and more popular.
we were talking a lot about your rubber ducky time and how you once did it on a live stream.
Yes, yeah, that was what, back in March, I think, back in the
Probably,
spring.
yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't done the rubber ducky time. I think I've talked about it before. I'm getting a little wary of water getting in places that
Yeah.
probably shouldn't. And I found that a lot of the typewriters don't really need rubber ducky time. They just need to be brushed and blown out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't have to clean them, completely. Just
Yeah.
enough to get them working. But I do wash the body parts. The body parts are usually the dirtiest, and so I'll take the body parts out and wash them in some soap and water. But the machine itself, I'd rather use solvents and things like that nowadays, just to be on the safe side.
Well, I had mentioned this morning, May, that I did the rubber ducky for the first time, me doing it on this Splendid 33. I did it last Sunday night, and it came out good. I haven't seen any bad effects from doing it, but that's the only time I've done it. So it was fun. It certainly got a lot of the grunge off of it.
Yes, yes. It's a quick way to get all the grunge.
Maybe I should have done that with my Corona 1938. It's the yet for me the dirtiest that I've encountered, and all gummed up and stuck. So I started with the chemicals yesterday. I haven't finished the process, but I think, I do believe like the water does work, because they used to do that in professional shops. So just have to be careful, like everyone says, like rust is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you-
Everything's dried thoroughly.
Yeah.
All dry.
I just worry about the little crevices, like the inside the mainspring and things like that.
Yes,
Yeah, I
mainspring
sprayed
especially.
I oiled my mainspring and the carriage bearings after I dried it, you know,
Mhm. Oh yes, you did that.
because
in
the spring
oil.
steel in the spring is probably rust prone.
Mhm.
It is just like clock mainsprings, and
Mhm.
they do have. You rarely see people or see written or hear about in the temperature maintenance any oiling of the mainspring, but that's in clocks. That's you have to oil them. And I actually have a bottle of special oil for it. It's high pressure oil, and it does two things. It protects them against rust and allows the coils to slide against each other, and makes for, in a clock, that's really important to make it a very even, constant timekeeping. But the same thing is when I repaired my Lettera 32, the mainspring broke very close to the end. So I was lucky that I didn't need to replace the spring, but it broke where there was rust. And I'm not surprised that, it became weak there. So
I would also think that the difference between a clock spring and typewriter spring is the clock spring is often wound to full tension, where the return spring in a typewriter is designed to never actually hit that full tension point.
that's a very good observation. Yeah, clock springs are wound to their maximum. So if a clock is an 8-day clock, it can run 8 days on one wind.
Yeah.
Or
Yes, I know that when I'm reassembling recoil starter pulls on chainsaws and that sort of stuff, I'll always wind the spring to maximum, then back it up at least a quarter turn before attaching the cord, then let it pull as much cord on it as I wanted. So even when you pull the cord to maximum, you haven't deadheaded the spring.
When I did my Lettera 32, I had looked up different sources, and I wound it 5 turns, and I stopped there. And then I tried it, and it was working just perfect with 5 winds, and I lifted there. So that not to put too much, because it's going to damage once you tab and it goes too fast. So that actually, that's the thing is it would slam too fast, and then maybe make more damage than it needs to, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to my mom's typewriter when she decided to sit me down in front of it to teach me how to type. She said, explore the keyboard. First key, I pressed the tab key. The carriage shot all the way to the far end and damaged the right-hand tab stop. And I was told I was not to touch the typewriter again.
Oh. Oh.
Early lessons.
May, have you gotten any new typewriters in your collection?
No new typewriters. I'm on a typewriter diet. I'm slowly approaching 50 typewriters, and I've got a lot of good ones. So I don't have any desires for any new ones, unless I find a really good deal on a Herbie Hermes or an Olympia. So I'm kind of saving myself for a few special typewriters that I don't already have.
That's good.
Yeah.
My question is the Hermes, like I've never ever typed on a Hermes, but since everybody talks about them, and some videos, like should we as a collector always have a Hermes in our collection or not? Because they're quite rare. They're quite rare.
It's like butter. It's like typing on. It's like butter when you type.
Well, should every clock collector have a Swiss watch in their collection?
There you go.
Well, I certainly do, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Because Hermes being made in Switzerland makes the same precision and accuracy as Swiss watches.
Yeah, but there was also switch manufacturers that did common type ebosh and that were sold under different other brand names, and so they're not all equal.
Okay.
And I do have to say, for me personally, I went a long time, playing with other typewriters before Hermes 3000 entered my collection. And so, all the talk you hear and with the prices, the expectations are pretty high. But when I typed on it, it actually exceeded my expectations. So I was pretty blown away. So I recommend it.
I like it. Yeah.
Agree. Agree.
Yeah. The Hermes, I forget if I have a rocket or a baby. I don't remember right now. The touch on that is very, very different from the Hermes 3000. So that one is, I would say, is a lot less desirable. So the H3K is where it's at, definitely.
How about the 2K? Is that the same as the 3K?
No, different touch
Different
feel.
beast.
Yeah, I've heard that those are really good. What's that, William?
From what I understand, the Hermes 2000 is a different beast. It's a different action, different feel, but it's still a very good typewriter.
Yeah, I've heard
And it's a carriage shift as opposed to basket shift. I don't have one yet, but I'm always on my eye out for one.
One day.
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
our one of our members, Sarah Van Allen, who hasn't been on in a long time, unfortunately, she recently posted on Facebook that she finally got another H2K, and she was very excited about it because her first one, when it arrived, it was broken beyond repair, essentially. So I think she donated it to her local repair shop. And so then just recently, within maybe the last week, she posted that she got this new one, which had some minor damage in shipment. It sounds like they don't ship very well, the H2Ks. So, but she's thrilled that she finally has a working one in her collection. So,
well, my the Toronto typewriter shop gentleman that I communicate with, he said that the 3000s as well, they're very sensitive. So any little knock, you can knock something out of alignment, and he could spend hours and hours and hours and not get it back to perfect. Like, they're very, very sensitive machines, he said.
Yeah. Wow.
So shipping is a problem. Yeah.
It can be, yeah.
Only if the shipper is a problem.
Yes, but most of them are.
Yeah.
Except you and I, maybe, and everybody on this group.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Well,
go ahead, Diane.
I am pleased to say that the capital F has reasonable alignment.
That's not bad.
Oh.
Rubber rollers are a little off at the beginning,
Yeah.
but that's easy. That's great.
But yeah, the capital F was the one that was bent, the type bar that was bent.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very good.
That'll be 120 years old next year.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's insane. Wow. My goodness.
Well, the 1899 one's even older, so.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Those old typewriters make me really nervous. So.
Say what?
The old typewriters really make me nervous. In fact, anything before the 40s, I start getting more and more nervous.
Why?
It's just because I feel like it's truly a part of history, and I wouldn't want to ruin it, or it's not likely I would be able to repair it. So it'd be more likely that I could actually ruin it. So. Yeah. Plus the idea of just picking something up that's that old, just does not interest me.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I can tell you thrive on like working on these and getting them back into working order, and you really thrive on that. But to me, it's more just I want writing devices, and I don't want to worry about the repairs.
The writing is hard work enough. I don't need mechanical labor on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to be able to write on these, so.
Yeah.
That's what typewriters are for.
That's right.
Yes.
Even the old ones.
Yeah. So I commend you for sort of latching onto those super old typewriters as your the focus of your collection, really. So
Well, I kind of have Ethan Singri to help as far as kind of nudging me to trying to fix these things. Because he kind of helped me with the 1899 one. He helped me get that one kind of back together again, because he was the one who said he saw the strange keys, the directional keys on that one. Oh, you gotta fix that one. At that point, I'm like, I'd barely started, and I'm like, So it's taken quite a while and some patience on the part of the local repair shop, because they've helped a bit too.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's like I was looking over his shoulder whenever he was adjusting that F key, and it's like, oh yeah, you just bent it. It's like, oh. Like, well, let me know if we need to adjust it. And it's like, I don't know. I think it might be reasonably okay. There's a piece on there for the card holder that one of those is bent, and it's hanging up on the piece that the ribbon goes under before it goes over the vibrator. And so it's literally catching on that, and I'm like trying to get a nice type sample so I can scan it and put it on the database.
Yes.
We have to do the important things, Ted, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this will be the earliest one or not, but I'll have to look. But I know it's my previous one was 8889, and this one is 2240.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's getting there.
Yeah. The goal is to get number 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the goal right now is to get a model number 9, and then after that, well, we'll see. It's like this one. I took the risk on this one to have it shipped to me. You know, it's like that was the biggest risk I've ever taken. I was just like sweating bullets the whole time hoping it would get here. And I did ask the guy if he'd double box it. He did, and it was a good thing, because the inner box, something did poke through there. I don't think it was that it did any damage, but the weight must have shifted, and it it poked a hole in there. I didn't see anything sticking out, but I could see the hole. It's like, ooh. I mean, he had wrapped it up pretty good despite that. So I tried to videotape myself opening that one, but nobody really wants to see my butt as I walk on the floor.
Somebody might.
But it's like, I had to literally have it in the middle of the floor, and it's like, well, I had to go get the blade to open the box, and then it's like pull the box out. I actually kind of had a rude interaction with the guy who delivered it. Had a rude interaction. He had a rude comment. I took it as rude, but he had no way of knowing. But it was like, I kind of asked, because he was just going to leave it on my front stoop, and I kind of asked if he could just bring it, just bring it in the house, just get it up into the door. I didn't want him to like come in or do anything, but he was like, "Oh, get your husband to work on." I don't have a husband,
I'm offended by that. Yeah.
I was, I mean, it's like, yeah, theoretically, I could have waited for my neighbor to come home later in the evening, but I didn't want to have my typewriter sitting outside all that time. It's like, no, thank you. But it's like I kind of needed help getting it in, and once it's in, I'm fine. But that was really rude, I thought.
Actually,
he could have just said no. He doesn't have to make.
That's right. He could have just said no, and
it's like it's a yes or a no. He doesn't have to pull that other crap in.
Right.
I-
He
that-
really
that
did.
Proposal? Are you proposing to me?
If so, bring the typewriter in the house.
Basically, I just wanted a little help just to get it up into the door, up through the door. That's it. I mean, I just didn't really appreciate that attitude. I didn't really need it, but anyway.
Nobody needs that.
No, it was rude, and I didn't go beyond that, but he did come back and at least help me lift it up. So I was happy to have that much help.
Well, that's
After
good.
that, huh?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Ended well.
Yeah. It ended well and it got here in one piece. So I was happy on that account too.
Diane, it's a good thing that you got it now rather than next month when stuff really goes crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually got it last month, so it was just as well that, or whenever, or maybe it was earlier this month. I don't even remember. Anyhow. There's so much happening in real life that kind of gets into my brain right now, and I use work and typewriters to just kind of keep that stuff to a point where I can deal with it. It's like just I don't need to. It's stuff I can't control because it's happening to other people. I can't control it, so I'm just doing my best to just stay,
in the drama-free zone.
What?
In the drama-free zone.
Yes.
That's what I'm about. Yep.
Yep.
Ted, earlier it looked like you were in a bit of pain. You were holding up your cat, and it looked like you grimaced.
Oh yeah, I hit my knee on the desk.
Oh no!
Ouch!
Then I had to walk it off for a while.
Oh man!
Oh, sorry, Ted. Man, that hurts.
I thought maybe your cat did something to you.
No, I was just turning around to scratch her, and
yeah,
I whacked my knee on the sharp edge of the desk, and I was like,
"Oh,
cats are pain."
I did manage not to yell, so
yeah.
I would have yelled.
You had the look of the silent scream, though.
The silent scream.
It was quite painful for about 5 minutes.
Oh man!
No.
I got
Sorry.
some plastic cups.
Oh, there you go. So why
Yeah.
haven't you finished making feet yet?
I wanted to get the typewriter working.
Let's see.
Just never satisfied to.
Oh, you got to do, build, make.
Well, I just got them this morning, so I'm chilling out, and that might be next weekend's project. We'll see.
Should be on your 10th set of feet by now.
Well, I gotta take them off my. Well, actually, I might have a set of feet that I didn't put on anything yet, so I'll have to see. Or I gotta take them off my Smith Premier 6, which might rip them, but I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You need good originals to start with. So.
Yeah. All right. Before we wrap up, are there any last minute typing prompts or questions or comments?
Well, maybe I'll just say thank you very much for Kimberly for sending me a beautiful letter. It was so nice to read your letter. We both have Litteras 22 with the same typeface, and it's great to get your letter, and thank you very much.
Well, it only works because of you. So.
Oh.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah.
I do have a question about the postcard exchange. Which
yes.
I signed up for the first time. Are we sending postcards to the same person that's sending us one, or is it one of those?
It's
okay.
like a chain.
It's like a chain. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
So,
Remember
it's a surprise.
Letters?
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yes.
Thank
There you go.
And it turns out I have you this month, so expect something this next week.
Oh, I'm so glad that you liked it.
It's beautiful. It sounds like you had some lovely childhood memories there.
Yes, yes. Now this is a postcard that is from my aunt's house.
Yes.
So that's actually close to my heart, and I used to go there, and they sold the property now, but I used to go to that place, which looks to the St. Lawrence River. It's really, 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 really nice.
It looks like it.
I'm glad that it got there in good shape, Chris.
It did indeed. It's perfect.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
Speaking of that postcard exchange, I will be replying to the ones that did send me postcards. That would be Perry in New York and Dan in Portland, Oregon. So I will start working on those soon. So,
very cool.
Thanks.
I'll have to try and sign up for this sometime.
Yeah, it's the third Monday of the month. So
okay.
I haven't posted any of the events for December yet. I need to do that, and hopefully today. But we're celebrating my wife's birthday today, so
happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to her!
Thank you.
This is poor typist.
So talking about the postcard for December is going to come too late for actually making it for Christmas postcards. Maybe it'll make it for New Year's. So instead of postcard, can we send
Christmas card exchange,
like Christmas or wishes, best wishes as in a card in an envelope?
I don't think the rules are hard and fast enough that you're going to get in trouble if you do that.
We'll hunt you down.
No, I was curious because I do understand there's a difference in postage rate for postcards in the US, but not for Canada. So if I'm going to mail it, it's just the same for us, and it might be just what to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's called the postcard exchange, but you can always send whatever you want. The idea of it being
typewriters.
Yeah, exactly.
With a card on it.
Silk ribbon.
The idea of a postcard is, it's the easiest thing to get out, and just, it's not a huge commitment. So yeah. So
yeah, it's not a lot of text. It's just difficult to feed those into the typewriter. So the trick for my first postcard was I followed your tips, Greg. So I typed on a piece of paper, which I then glued and taped onto the postcard.
Yeah. So
another trick with the postcards is to put it on the edge of the table and give it a good curl first.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I found is once you get your postcard into typewriter, is to physically hold the top of the card against the platen as you type with one finger until the top of the card gets into the paper bale.
Yeah.
Or just use.
It can be a bit tricky, but it does work.
It just use a Selectric.
Well, actually, I have an SG1 that I'm still fixing. And just for fun, I tried feeding a card into that there, and to my amazement, it's fantastic. It holds it super well, and because the platen is bigger diameter, it seems to work very well. So, Ted, your Selectric might have a bigger diameter platen then.
Well, the Composer does, yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Also, if you have a Royal Safari that has the metal framework of the paper holder as opposed to the plastic ones, it also holds the card much better to the platen.
Yeah.
Well, David went away again. I haven't heard him speak all time.
Oh, I'm back. I had a crying cat.
Did anybody talk to you yet, or did I?
Yes,
just...
you did.
Okay, I missed it. Bummer.
He's been watching us. Hopefully
I've
on a
been
night
holiday decorating and watching you guys on YouTube.
Yes.
And then moving back here to chat. Hi, Ted. How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
I just didn't want you to sit there silent all day. And
No, I just kind of zoomed back in, but appreciate the nod.
Good.
Yes. You finished your decorating, by the way?
No, not actually. Actually, the Department 56 old collection has hit the mantle. So that slows one down when you have the little village pieces. One of those collecting things from way past. But I bring out a few pieces every year, so
Okay.
we try to decorate it up.
Nice.
I have Sherlock's house, that 221B.
221B.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have that, and I have the characters, Watson and Holmes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Well, I should be taking off.
All righty. I think we're all probably going to be taking off.
Yeah.
Unless anybody else had any last minute things.
I just wanted to ask May, what are you looking for when you find the 6 characters per inch typewriters? Is there some other than looking at the typeface sample?
I look at the ruler bar to see how many characters.
Yeah.
So lower numbers, they'll either be like 40, 50, 60, or on a wider carriage, like 60. So
And the
I
color
literally,
selector.
yeah, just look at the spacing on the typewriter. And then they don't have a red, black stencil. It's just black and stencil. There's no third color. Yeah. There's only 2 options.
Thank you.
I always try to look at the ruler myself because most sellers don't really know what it is, and when the photos are good, we can actually count and
The
It drives
only
me crazy
exception
when
I've
there's
come
paper
across
in there
on
and you
that.
can't count.
Yeah.
Gregory, I just might add, I announced Virtual Hermans 2
okay.
This week on the Facebook group. Earlier in the week, I posted a little video. The type the date or the save the date is February 19th, 2022.
Okay.
And so, I just don't have a lot of information to share right now, but as the new year starts to roll around, you'll see a lot more posts on the Facebook group. And one of the things I'm trying to do is to get better outreach to the global community. So one of the real volunteers that I'm really looking for is someone who has a lot of connections out there to Europe and a lot of connections to Australia, a lot of connections to Asia, trying to get the word out beyond just the Facebook groups that we have. So
I bet Anya Drury would help you with.
Yes, we've talked.
Yeah.
And we've
Intro
talked
in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Netherlands, Sweden.
Yeah. And Grim is over there in Sweden as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We have Luke Liu and Taiwan.
I thought about trying to get in some of the publications, some of the Europe publications. I belong to a couple of them. I get magazines that I cannot read, but trying to connect there would be a good thing too. So.
Can I suggest for musical entertainment along with my mind is going
Larry
blank.
Presnell.
Yes.
Thank you. But Mag, can I suggest that you get May to entertain us as well?
Yeah.
With her typewriter songs.
Yeah.
Your typewriter song?
Typewriter song.
I actually have my notes right up here. So May, I will, your name is official on my notes.
Excellent.
Yeah,
well,
still
we
need to get the
look forward to-
typewriter talk theme song going here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't picked up the guitar in weeks, so I need to-
Well,
I
you
need to
probably should get
practice more.
practicing.
I
Because
will.
we're looking for
By February.
one of the differences is that we'll be going one single day, 24 hours. So I'm going to try to bump up the timeline so that Europe can get better involved. So it's not so difficult for them and late in the day. So, it's going to be a 24-hour virtual Hermans too. I don't know how I'm going to stay out, but
You'll have to get
Are
volunteers.
you hosting that whole thing, David?
I did do a pretty good job last year, dropped off about 1 a.m. and picked it up at about 6 a.m. There was not anybody there last year. And Nick saved the day by keeping the connection open on his machine And it just saved the cold next day,
Mm.
because if they would have closed it on us, I would have had trouble picking it
lost
back
it.
up. So
Right.
I'll make sure that happens this year, that I've got some backup plans.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you, Gregory.
Of course, that's exciting, and be sure and share the details when you have more information for
Well,
us.
we will.
Very
I will
good.
do that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. It's been
Thank
it's
you.
been wonderful as
Thank
usual.
you.
And
Thanks, you guys.
I will get the next
Thank
events
you.
posted. Stay tuned for those.
All
All right. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Carol,
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Sean has the end.
Yeah. I love that.